Spurb Beta Walkthrough, version 1.0, April 13th, 2009, by Tentacle Therapist. I'd be inclined to dispense with the trite even under less pressing circumstances. Needless to say, I'll forego the inscrutable ASCII banner which typically heralds the striking freefall of these documents. I'll also resist the urge to brandish any copyright marks or particular neuroses that concerns itself with the theft of the utterly mundane. I'll allow other deranged prospectors to stake claim on their worthless plots as the woods burn around them. My introduction will be sparse. There will be no majestic prose blustering into the sails of a galleon as we embark on this voyage together, nor will there be any ham-fisted prose whipping its limbs under a bedsheet like a moronic ghost for that matter. I won't set the stage or dim the lights. The mood, you will see, will be set soon enough. Since you're reading this, chances are you have installed this game on your computer already. If this is true, like many others, you have just participated in bringing about the end of the world. But don't beat yourself up about it. There was never anything you could have done to prevent it. The end is happening right now, as I type, and as you read, I have come to understand that we were always doomed for our collective ignorance, and now further doomed by those who know and struggle to flee. If you are lucky, you'll be among the smaller subset of the latter who are successful. What I mean is, while the game you installed is just one more grinding slab of rock sealing our planet's crypt, it is also your only hope to live. I am presently faced with the same conundrum as you, and though I speak with more experience, my own outcome is far from assured. I will play the game, as much of it as there is to play, and record my findings here. If you want to live, you will do as I instruct. My condolences, Tentacle Therapist. The kernel divides. The two halves go their separate ways, leaving behind the sprite portion. What is left of the sprite undergoes a mysterious transformation. For a moment, you thought you heard someone say, "boy," as if whispered in the periphery of your awareness. It was probably just your imagination, though.
You there, boy.
To walk around, use the mouse, arrow keys, or WASD keys. Click on various objects to open command menus for them. Outstanding Flash programming by Alexis Ganko Biencenir. What? His name is John, you nincompoop.
Boy who's John, do as I say.
What would you like Boy Who Is John to do?
Obey my commands, John boy.
And those commands would be?
I would like the boy to interact with this environment in a constructive manner.
Maybe you should be a little bit more specific.
Help the boy assess his current situation.
I'm afraid I can't have the boy do that. Tell him to do it yourself.
Very well.
Okay. and instruction does not do anything at the moment. Could you please turn the controls over to a more competent user? Increasingly sophomoric. Also, you almost spelled salad in there. Getting close to the railing makes you a little nervous. It's a long way down. It looks different now. After you bit the apple, your whole house seemed to be transported somewhere. Then the apple disappeared, and the kernel sprite underwent a transformation. Aside from the change in appearance, the transformation doesn't seem to have any relevant ramifications. You still can't understand a word this idiot says.
What is it for?
The alchemeter created the apple, or the tree that sprouted it rather, right on time to save you from destruction. I'm not sure if you can say the same for your neighborhood though. You wonder what happened to your dad.
Examine the strange blue vase.
It is a piece of crookside you carved with the totem lathe. When its contours were scanned, the alchemeter was able to produce that tree. How odd. The ghost clown is called the Kernel Sprite, or rather just the sprite now, I suppose. You can't do something with it at the moment. The only thing you can theoretically do with it is Tier 2 prototype it, assuming that's still possible.
Prototype the sprite or nothing you said. Do it.
You are not the one who is supposed to prototype it. The Spurb server user is supposed to do that.
Boy, open this door and I detest this. Disregard it.
The Harlequin painting? You have the sentiment in common with John then, I suppose.
The man with the humor spectacles. Admire him.
Oh, Michael Sarah, your warm smile is a shining beacon in these dark times.
No.
Believe me, you have no intention of turning your head to observe this dreadful thing.
Why does this small man stand here?
The Harlequin is always ready to serve you with illumination, whether you're reading a book or just enjoying a nice pipe. In retrospect, it was pretty funny when your dad pied you like that. Gotcha'd again by the old man.
What is the meaning of this rubbish?
Okay, even you have to admit, this one's pretty funny. If only putting the lid back on the Cruxtruder would undo all that is done. Alas, Pandora's tube has been opened. This thing weighs a ton. You'd be surprised if the game cursor could lift it, or at least not without a significant expense of grist. Of all the places for Rose to drop this infernal thing, more than ever you feel... what's the word you're looking for? Ah, of course. House-trapped. That stuff is really dirty, and you don't want it. Besides, you have it on good authority that a significant portion of it is comprised of asbestos.
Crumble this urn immediately.
That would be disrespectful to your nana. You just won't do it. Or not intentionally, at least. You consider that it is fortunate she is no longer around to witness his sorrow. On the other hand, you would probably benefit from her elderly wisdom now.
Wield these instruments in combat.
Any one of these would make a fine weapon. If only your STRIFE specialist wasn't already allocated. Oh well.
Destroy these diminutive soldiers of merriment.
It hardly seems worth it to go to the bother. You doubt you could get much for them at a garage sale even. Maybe a grubby palm of pennies and a kick in the nuts for the whole lot of them. So coy. So mysterious.
Why? Pay no mind to this filth.
What is he even doing there? Playing with a ball or something? Clowns are stupid.
This way, through the doors like you see in a cowboy saloon. If vegetable.
Doesn't smell like anything.
Examine the smeared substance.
Is this oil? You wonder what happened in here. Where is your dad?
On the chest.
Would you like to play a game?
Examine this artwork.
Your dad was so proud when you drew this. He hung it up immediately, and it stayed there ever since. That was 1 week ago. Wherever your dad went, he seems to have left in a hurry. For all his absurdities you have to put up with, you sure wish he was here right now.
This book is too big for a young, stupid boy.
Colonel Saska's is your favorite book. Ormritz's favorite is Wise Guy. They are both your favoritist of all time.
Samples counted uncooked dessert.
Back, ye miserable wench! Stay thy choking airborne particulates of temptation!
Open this door now. Open these and rifle through them for goods.
You don't give a shit about what's in there. Probably nothing you'd be inclined to use now anyway.
This is no time for laundry.
You're right. Thank you for being sensible about it.
Exit, boy. Admire this wall-mounted gadget.
For some mysterious force, your house still seems to be powered, even though the wires are severed. Quite bizarre.
Little of the bright, sparky things.
That sounds incredibly dangerous! John sensibly disregards your awful advice.
Thunder Lord amusement.
Your childhood nemesis, the spring-mounted pogo ride, sadly was not swallowed by the void. It will have to wait another day for its comeuppance.
Boy, engage this magic trapeze display.
Looks like his swing set is toast. You relive fond memories in a moment of sorrow. The trick handcuffs are still there, thank God. And no, you are not about to try to claim them just now.
Back into the house with you. Go back into the luncheon parlor. Return to the room with the dead hag's remains. is a mess, boy.
You're so glad your dad wasn't watching when you did this. He never would have let you hear the end of it.
Inspect this Merry-Band performance.
Circuit de Sola once filed a restraining order against your father. You were never so embarrassed in your life.
Consume not.
You would? Well, you're not sure if this dark realm has any hospitals.
Operate this instrument.
You play your favorite haunting refrain.
Throw this ugly thing out the window.
You will not do that intentionally. You will only resort to throwing stuff out of the window via Silodex mismanagement.
Is this tobacco burning apparatus?
Yuck! You still have pipe taste in your mouth.
This man is an imbecile. Ignore him.
He's alright. Looks like he doesn't take himself too seriously, and knows how to have a good time. You can only assume your dad hung it crooked to make it more whimsical.
It has a knife. Be alarmed by this.
R.I.P. Ledger.
Look here.
It's dark out there. Can't see anything for miles.
Disregard this nonsense.
Your dad uses stuff sometimes to dazzle you with his silly vaudevillian escapades. Really, you couldn't roll your eyes hard enough at his corny act.
Read unpleasant literature.
Serious Jester magazine. For those whom clowning around is serious business.
Open this iron vault, boy.
You don't know the combination.
Seek the riches he guards below.
This one offers a friendly wave. But yeah, this is really just another stupid piece of shit.
I see trickery in his eyes.
Oh, he doesn't look too bad.
Return to the large room of the gross paintings. Boy, go in here. Inspect this ghastly man and his boy.
Fred Savage has a punchable face. Your ass! More like a talented young actor's face who you would want to hang out with if you ever got the chance, and also if he was not a fully grown man now. Anyway, the thought of monsters lurking in your house scares the shit out of you, which is why this movie is so awesome. But the fact that those monsters could also be your best friend is what makes it doubly awesome.
John Cusack.
Yeah, you guess so. But damn, that door be covering up your man cage something serious. This ain't cool.
This door. Explain this.
Rose sure did a number on your house. But you guess she did manage to save your life. You guess.
Observe this box.
The bunny is not in the box. I said the bunny is not in the box. Why couldn't the bunny be in the box? Most people say the second one was not as great as the first, but you feel just the opposite. It was really cool and sort of gross how they hosed each other down with the slime that made people angry. TG refers to this film as Nasty Man Bro Bukkake Theater. Whatever the hell that means.
At this adventure in outer space.
This movie is... Okay, this movie is really bad. Not even you can defend it. You've been meaning to take this poster down, actually.
Boy, look through this window.
At least your tire swing remains unmolested. A tree without a tire swing is like a house without a surrounding neighborhood, you guess.
Acquire the small Persian rug.
It's a towel, dumbass. It will probably come in handy for cleaning up this weird mess in your room. Not that it's a huge priority, though.
Examine this unpleasant fluid.
What is this stuff?
This huge sewing machine, of what use is it?
The punch card seems to contain instructions for carving a totem of a certain shape. I guess maybe other punch cards will produce different shapes. It bears further exploration.
This funny man text. You should ignore it.
Just looking at the cover cracks you up. What a great book. Harry Anderson is your hero, and Mike Cavaney's glowing treatment of the man does him every bit of justice. You'll have to give this another read soon.
Investigate this device.
It seems you are still connected to the internet. Rose is trying to get in touch with you. You will reply in a moment, once you fully assess the situation.
Go out of the door that is not here. What is down here? Proceed, boy. I am not fond of this smug fellow.
The man, the myth, the legend! What do you have up your sleeve there, Anderson? Look at his poker face. He's not telling a soul.
Go in there now. Your plumbing appears faulty.
Man, Morris did such a piss-poor job of fixing the bathroom. It would almost certainly be a mistake to try to use the toilet. I guess you could just go pee over the edge of the cliff.
Peer through that window.
At least your backyard was salvaged too. Sort of.
Leave at once. Open this.
Your dad's room is still locked.
Boy, quit all this scurrying around.
For the last time, this boy's name is John.
Fine. John, return to your quarters.
You go back up to your bedroom, tiptoeing around this weird petroleum-based sludge.
Now, John, respond to your friend unit.
John? Are you there?
Hey, yeah, I'm here. And not dead, I think.
I know. I've been watching you scramble through your house like a lunatic. You should have answered me sooner.
Oh, man, sorry. I was looking around for my dad, and I can't find him anywhere. Have you seen him?
No, I'm sure he'll turn up. We have more important things to address right now.
Yeah, like, where am I?
I don't know that either. I've determined your neighborhood was destroyed by the meteor. Wherever you were transported, it saved you from the impact. I've been reading reports in the news. Over the last few days, there have been many smaller meteor collisions with people's homes around the world, and they seem to be getting bigger. Yours was the biggest they've identified so far.
Wow, okay. So then, I guess if this is the game's doing, then the point is for us to save the world?
Perhaps.
Then we better get moving and figure this game out!
Yes, but wait. We should retrieve your PDA yet again. It will help to keep tabs on each other while you investigate. I think I can get you closer to it if I can replenish our grist supply somewhat. There may be a way to recycle somewhat we have already used.
Okay.
I'll meet you out on the balcony.
Wait, Rose! One thing!
What?
You never wish me a happy birthday. Hello?
I was working on something to send you, but I was running late with it. I didn't want you to think I believed meager well wishes alone would suffice for the occasion. That said, happy birthday, John.
Oh geez, that is silly. Anyway, thanks!
First, take the fabric item on the floor there.
The towel? Why? Ah well, you're the boss. You capture log the towel. What now?
Do as the purple text says. To the balcony!
John makes his way to the balcony per your awkwardly worded request.
Wait! Take that! The blue wobbly thing!
You whimsically decide to capture log the totem which was used to create the apple tree earlier.
John, recycle the grist as was dictated by your cohort.
John cannot do anything with the grist as of this moment. That is up to the Spurb player.
I see.
Yes, that will suffice. Rose deletes the perfectly generic objects. 6 units of build grist are restored to your grist cache. Rose expends the grist to drag a new plank from the balcony in the direction of the PDA.
John, run across the precarious platform swiftly.
John isn't sure about that. It's a long way down.
Boy, I said make haste on the narrow catwalk.
John is very nervous about that idea, and the strident tone of your commands is starting to make him a little upset.
Fine, proceed as your level of comfort dictates.
You cautiously walk within the range of the PDA. Rose retrieves it.
Now take it.
You grab the PDA, launching one of the Harlequin figures into the night. You can kiss that one goodbye. Just one command will suffice. Thanks. It looks like you're not the only one trying to locate your father after the disaster.
The following has been submitted in a frank and forthright manner for Pipefan 413 judicious appraisal. Submitted inquiry over concern of a cataclysmic event. Pipefan 413. Reply. At Pipefan 413. Status of health/wardrobe. Neighborhood house struck by flaming projectile. In light of fire hazard, evacuating house of all expensive garments. Good luck, Fedora Freak. Salvage as many hats as is practical. Fedora Freak, you are in our fort, along with Pipefan 413 and his enviable collection of pipes. Thank you all. Report. Most hats removed from danger. Ties next. These boring men are uninterested.
John, are you okay? You seem a little tentative.
I'm fine, I guess. Since I got here, I feel compelled to do these weird things I don't really want to do. By some kind of voice that I can't really even hear. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Perhaps the early symptoms of an anxiety disorder, like post-traumatic stress?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Well, if you can pull yourself together, there are a few more things we should try. Like prototyping the kernel sprite again if possible. We should hurry. My laptop battery won't last forever.
Okay, I will go back inside.
No, don't do that. Hop off this ledge onto that car.
What? No! That sounds incredibly dangerous! Now you're just being a pest. Which turnip truck did you tumble out of anyways? Who are you? An examination of the basics. Upon connecting with the client user, you, the server user, will be met with a control panel allowing you to manipulate your co-player's environment. You will find that you are able to deploy 4 items at no expense. 3 of these are rather large machines, and 1 is a punch card. It's possible that you have already deployed some of these items before reading this. If this is the case, and you have activated the machine called the Cruxtruder, such that it displays a countdown, you must proceed to section A100 of this walkthrough immediately. The life of the client user depends on it, and if your co-player has activated this device in your environment too, then yours does as well. But if not, please refrain from doing anything with the Cruxtruder, aside from merely deploying it. This will buy us some time to think things through properly, and to go over the basics of the game before you find your soft, easily punctured head in the jaws of the lion. As mentioned, there are 4 items to consider, each playing a role in the process which appears to have a singular purpose, to manufacture objects out of thin air. The designers of the game, judging by the language used, regard this process as a sort of alchemy. This may allude to complexities in the production process yet to present themselves, but for now, the variety of objects you are to create remains quite limited. The items in question are the Crux-Juda, again tread lightly with this one, the Totem Lathe, the Alchemeter, and the pre-punched card. I will describe how these devices work in conjunction with each other, and I will use the analogy of having a key made at a hardware store to help you understand. First, deploy all these objects in convenient proximity to each other. Be sure not to block doors or pathways with them. You can always revise the dimensions of rooms to make space for them, but I'd advise against this, or even experimenting with the function. Doing so comes at the expense of build grist, a commodity which appears to be at a premium at the offset, and one you'd be advised to save for later. The Crux-Truda. Removing the lid signals the moment your life becomes a great whirling batshit pandemonium. But aside from that, it marks the beginning of the process I am about to describe. The countdown begins, yes. Also, an entity called the Kernel Sprite is released, but neither of these things are at all relevant to the process to my knowledge. More on these later. What is relevant is the unleaded Crux-Truda's ability to dispense Cruxite dowels. It will dispense at least one, though I suspect it's capable of producing more given the parameters I'm not yet familiar with. In my key-making analogy, these dowels represent uncarved pieces of metal which the hardware employee retrieves from a drawer or a rack, and sets about carving into a key. The 2 following items are needed to do the carving. The pre-punched card. It is a simple Siladex card containing an item. There is evidence to suggest the specific item it contains is variable from session to session. The card I deployed contained a blue apple. Yours may be different. It shouldn't matter. Hopefully. Additionally, the card, as you may have guessed, is punched, like one used with antique computing systems. The pattern of holes comprises data which I believe corresponds to the instructions for creating the item the card contains. That it is pre-punched suggests there is a way to punch an unpunched card, possibly imprinting it with the data for the item it contains, though no mechanism for this has presented itself yet. But the data on the card cannot be used to create the item directly. There is a middleman. That middleman is the Totem Lathe. The Totem Lathe. This is essentially the key carving machine. It will carve into your Cruxite dowel a pattern of grooves and contours, the sort which makes a key unique. The instructions for this pattern are supplied by the punch card, which is inserted into the lathe pre-activation to configure its chisels. Once the dowel is carved, you will have a totem serving as your key, which can then be used to unlock the card item through the Alchemeter. But at this point I will diverge from my key-making analogy and switch to a barcode analogy, which is not a terribly strenuous leap to make, since the concepts of a key and a barcode are essentially the same, one being a unique pattern of grooves, the other of varying black lines. The Alchemeter. If you place a Cruxite dowel, carved or uncarved, on the Alchemeter's small pedestal, its robotic arm will scan the contours with a laser, hence the barcode analogy. This is the machine's way of reading the data originally imprinted from the card, and transforming that data into a physical object, though typically, this is not done without expense, I believe. An uncarved dowel results in the creation of a perfectly generic object, which is a seemingly useless green cube. It costs 2 units of build grist to make, and I do not advise you to waste resources on it. There appears to be many other varieties of grist, ostensibly used in combinations to create different sorts of items, which possibly offers some insights into the game's use of the term alchemy. But quite conveniently, there is an exception to this. Creating the item on the pre-punched card costs nothing. This is good, because creating this item turns out to be essential. Now that you know this, you can, in your own time, begin the process. Once you initiate it, naturally, there is no going back, so best be prepared. But you probably shouldn't drag your feet too long. As I mentioned earlier, this is your only means of escape. When you are ready, be prepared to follow the steps in the next section swiftly. In the distance, meteorites fall with greater frequency. The fire in the forest burns so hot, not even the rain is putting it out. Your laptop battery is alright for now, but it won't be for long. If the power in the house doesn't come back on, you can think of one last resort. The small backup generator stored behind the mausoleum.
What? Oh man, you're gonna use that? That sucks! What a stupid idea!
We have to hurry along. I'm running low on battery power.
But the cake mix? Ugh, that's so dumb!
I doubt it matters. We might as well just use any old crap lying around.
Fine, I guess.
The sprite is playing hard to get. You guess that's what you get for originally prototyping it with something that engenders mischief and pranksterism.
Do the potted vegetable instead. It looks delicious.
Pipe down, you! This is Rose's decision, not yours!
Oh, yes! Sweet! Now we're talking!
See if you can distract it. I'll try to sneak up on it.
John, flail about in a distracting manner.
The sprite finds this distracting manner in which you flail about to be rather distracting. The pesky sprite eludes you again. Not even the great Colonel himself can outfox it. In narrowly missing with your attempt to create the Colonel sprite, you drop the massive tome. The entire house rattles under the astonishing girth of the book. In the other room, Nana's ashes dump onto the sprite, which is caught unawares by the dousing.
Inspect Hag Ash incident.
You find the sacred urn toppled again. This time, you're quite sure it wasn't your fault. The sprite is nowhere to be found.
Aw, man, where did it go?
I can't find it anywhere in the house. No time to worry about that. The next thing we should do is get your server copy of the game from the car. You need to connect to my client so I can repeat your steps and presumably join you, wherever you are. You should do this quickly before my house burns down.
What? There's a fire?
There will be soon.
Oh, jeez. So, move this thing already.
It looks like it requires a lot of grist to move. I don't have enough to relocate the door either.
How much do you have?
0?
Oh. I thought about jumping to the car from the ledge earlier, but that sounds really dangerous.
I have a better idea. Meet me upstairs.
You again as Purple Worm say.
You're about to head upstairs, but you thought you heard something behind you. It was faint, but you could swear it was a small, light-hearted chuckle along the lines of a spirited
Ignore this woman's antics.
You're not sure you even saw a woman, let alone any of her hypothetical antics, but whatever it was you might have caught a glimpse of, it sure gave you the willies. You head upstairs on your way to the balcony. Your PDA is acting up again.
Indulge the device, but be tough with it.
Hey bro, check it out, I'm working on some new rhymes.
Dude, I don't have time for any of your nerdy raps.
Come on, this is Hells of Ill, just listen.
It sounds like you don't even believe me that I was about to get blown up. But I really was. But now, I'm in some weird dimension that Spurb sent me to or something. And on top of that, I think I'm being haunted by my dead grandma.
For real?
Yeah, it's true, but I'll talk to you later about it.
I think I could drop some sick rhymes about all this.
Man, see, I just don't think all the rapping stuff is really as cool as you think it is.
No, this'll be dope. Check it.
No, I have to go. Bye.
Armageddon's getting wage on us. Armageddon armed and dangerous. Sending men in space for saving us. See which played more courageous. Banner Brutus reach a truce to put their blow shoots to use and upsuck it. Then sacrifice, sacrifice would have to suffice. I'll fuck it. Bro be a stained glass saint up on a cross, getting hella Christ flagelous. Bruce likes off of that crucifix. Nothing, this is fucking Save-a-Fuss. Restrain his ass, permaclanes redux, while Buscemi remains dangerous. When a plan gone astray pays off, always take creator risk. Ashtray cater into layers of Matt McConaughey's remainder dust. Wait, McConaughey wasn't even in any of those Meteor movies, was he? I'll have to make a rap about, I don't know, Morgan Freeman or something? Being the president? It'll be called Obama Made It So That No One Gives a Shit About Black Presidents in Movies Anymore. See, you gotta fill me in on what's going on, so I have something to rap about besides all your dumb shit movies.
Enough strange poetry from the red text.
You head out to the balcony to find what Rose has in mind. She is messaging you again.
The purple text is less irrational than the red text.
I'm lifting the car to the balcony.
Whoa, okay.
Once it is up, retrieve the game, then I'll put it back down on the driveway.
But the door is locked.
Then break a window.
But it's my dad's car.
It's just a window. And this is sort of an emergency. Otherwise, I promise I'll handle the car with velvet gloves.
All right.
Ridiculous folly! Inexcusable!
You're inclined to agree, but hey, accidents happen. You double-check your PDA to make sure Rose is really gone. Indeed, this seems to be the case. TG is still pestering you, of course, but another chum is now logged in as well.
What colors are the words that this chum says?
I'm back.
Oh, hi!
I went to investigate the explosion I heard.
Was it by any chance a meteor?
Yes? How did you know?
Oh man, it's kind of a long story. Anyway, are you okay? Did it blow up your yard or start a fire or anything?
No, I'm fine. It landed a pretty good ways from my house, and I went to go look at it, and it's pretty big. But Beck doesn't want me to go near it, so I came home. He seems to think it's dangerous.
Oh gosh, he's probably right.
Anyway, what have you been up to, John? Oh, did you get my package yet?
Yeah, I was trying to get it, but Rose dropped my car into a weird spooky bottomless pit, and the package was in the car, and I'm really sorry about that.
Oh no!
Wow, okay, I guess I should start at the beginning. See, a meteor blew up my neighborhood.
That's terrible, John. I'm so sorry.
Oh, but I'm okay. And my house too, sort of. That game I was telling you about, Spurb, which I was playing with Rose, sort of transported me somewhere at the last minute. But now I'm trapped here, and it's weird and dark, and I can't find my dad, and I just lost the car, and my copy of the game in the pit, and I think I have to save the world from the apocalypse!
Well, it sounds really crazy and kind of scary, but it also sounds kind of exciting. I don't know, John. Maybe this is your destiny. If anyone can save the world, I think it's probably you.
Wow, you think so?
Yes!
Well, okay, but it's not even that simple. I was about to connect to Rose to help transport her and save her from meteors and fires and stuff. But she lost battery power and I lost the game disc. So I think I have to get TG to use his copy to save her. But that jackass won't shut up and stop rapping and stuff.
Oh, he's so silly.
Yeah, anyway, I should talk to him about it, so be right back.
The green text was attractive. Now view the red text again.
When the film crew zooms where the president's at, I'm like, if that dude's black, I'll eat my hat. Turns out he is, so we're all damn directors got gumption. Like we'll all flip our shit, he ain't shining shoes or something. It's called free-emancipation, if not pres-election, it's got ascension. In Bruce Almighty, whoops, different Bruce from the one I just mentioned. Can't explain to me why this ain't condescension, to think I'll shit a brick. Not even he can convey the intention with his quick-spun wit. Rather defray all this tension. Sit on his lap while he whittles a splint. And some guy's eyes what he does and patronize, I guess.
Stop rapping for a second, you horse's ass! I have something important to talk about.
What's up?
Rose is in trouble, and she needs help. I was going to connect to her with Spurb, but I lost my copy.
Okay.
Also, she lost battery power. If she can get back up and running, she'll need someone with the game to get her out of there before her house burns down. So I think you should use your copy of the game to help her.
My copy? That's gonna be tough.
Why?
I lost it. It's a stupid story and I'd rather not talk about it. Should be embarrassing, yo.
I thought you said you had two!
Well, yeah. One is my brother's copy.
Okay, well, get his then.
Alright, but he's not gonna be happy about that.
Whatever. Also, you might want to read Rose's walkthrough to get up to speed on this.
Oh, man.
What?
Nothing really. Look, all I'm saying is the girl tends to lay it on kind of thick, you know?
Your laptop is out of battery power. There is only one thing left to do. Time to make your way to that backup generator. That would be such a waste of time. Besides, you knitted one a while ago. You retrieve it from your knitting bag and apply it to your laptop. You capture log the laptop plus cozy. That would be incredibly ill-advised. There are some dark forces you don't want to mess around with. You understand this better than most. You put the book down. You grab the knitting bag in the grimoire. In that order, It's always a logistical puzzle with your tree, Modus. The tree auto-balances, leaving the knitting bag accessible in the root card. You feel a lot more comfortable with this as a weapon. You're so handy with those needles. You feel like you could probably use them to fillet a swordfish. You lose the root card in the process, severing the tree. Hey, careful with all that stuff. That would also be a preposterous waste of time. Besides, you're quite sure you've never heard of this creature called Cthulhu before. There are, however, many other specimens of the zoological dubious you're familiar with. Such as...
Thulufu, foul patron of misery, to hear his mammoth belly gurgle as to know the epoch of joy has come to an abrupt end. And Narub-Yigilith, shame-beast king of grotesquerie, rive lord of the moist beyondhood. Hearing its melodious chirps and tongue clicks causes one's bones to explode. And of course, there's Oglagoth, the Deep One. Whenever he grinds his teeth, all the children of a random galaxy somewhere will frown continuously for a 9,000-year span. He is the first and smallest of the smaller gods, appointed in servitude of a vile, unfathomable pantheon of middling gods, which caters to the whims of the noble circle of the horror terrors, an omniscient, omnipotent order of the elite few, forever cloaked in the darkness of the furthest ring.
And there's some strange paper containing some rather mysterious notes on summoning procedures. Yeah, I've never been quite sure what all these diagrams are getting at. You recapture-log everything the way you want it to appear in the tree, and head downstairs. You figure that's enough dilly-dallying. Time to get a move on. You wonder if this rain will ever let up. It's driven since the month began, perhaps long enough to forget its purpose. It no longer even knows to assuage fire. Somewhere, a zealous god frets his strings between the clouds and the earth, preparing for a symphony it feels impossible to play. And so it frets on, and on, delaying the rays of the Conductors Baton. How you hate this season. April is the coolest month, breeding lilacs out of dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. American sporting legend, Charles Barkley. Surely your mother is lurking nearby. You should be prepared for an unpleasant confront.
Who's that dude? It's Dave Strider.
What? There's this really cool dude, okay? He's standing around being all chill like cool dudes are known to do sometime. A cool dude like this probably has a real cool name, but he probably wouldn't tell you what it was if you asked. He'd be too busy for that, busy being totally sweet. But you could always try to guess his name, and if you're right, he might nod ever so slightly. That's a cool dude way of letting you know that there might be some hope for you yet. This guy doesn't have time for this sort of bullshit. Your name is Dave. It is an unseasonably warm April day. Your bedroom window is open to let some air in, and your fan is cranked. Arguably, even more cranked would be your fly beats, which brings us to your variety of interests. A cool dude like you is sure to have plenty. You have a penchant for spinning out some unbelievably ill jams with your turntables and mixing gear. You like to rave about bands no one's ever heard of but you. You collect weird dead things preserved in various ways. You're an amateur photographer and operate your own makeshift darkroom. You maintain a number of ironically humorous blogs, websites, and social networking profiles. And if the inspiration strikes, you won't hesitate to drop some fat rhymes on a mofo and represent. What will you do? Nah. The notion strikes you as nonsensical. You
can't imagine how a video game could save someone's life, and, in any case, you're quite sure no one you know is in danger. Anyway, these are your copies of the beta you received in the mail recently. You labeled them with your name in bold red print to distinguish them from your bro's copies, who labeled his in kind. Neither you really give a shit about this game or has any intention of playing it, but you'll be damned if you'll let that get in the way of your campaign of one-upmanship. You would never consider allowing any fluid even remotely resembling urine to touch your beloved turntables. That would risk breaking them, and a world without the gift of your godly science just doesn't sound like a place you'd want any part of. While you're at it, you might as well wipe out human civilization with a meteor or something ridiculous like that, which will probably never happen. That sort of thing only happens in stupid idiot movies for stupid idiots. You will, however, contemplate bleeding like a goat for, ironically humorous purposes at a later date. This is your closet. This is where you keep a lot of your crap. Like that box, and that bottle of... what is that? Is that... This is the package that your friend, John Egbert, sent you for your 13th birthday a little while ago. It now contains nothing except a note and a certificate of authenticity, vouching for the genuine Hollywood memorabilia which the box originally contained, and which you are now wearing to be ironic, but also to be incredibly cool in a way somehow intangibly related to the ironic nature of the accessory. You find it sort of exasperating to explain these subtleties to people. The box also included a signed photo of Ben Stiller, which now proudly hangs above your closet, proudly and ironically. You capture lock the box through your hash map fetch modus. Your modus's current hash function resolves the index by valuing each consonant at 2 and each vowel at 1. The total is divided by your number of cards and the remainder of the index. Box is capture locked in card 5. Oh hell yes! It's an unopened container of apple juice. You thought you were all out. It is like fucking Christmas up in here. This is so great. You've got to tell John about this immediately. He'll be so excited. You capture log the juice into card 7. In addition to letting your buddy know about this outstanding juice windfall, you figure you'll wish him a happy birthday while you're at it, in your own cool, sort of roundabout way, of course. Good thing you looked at that box he sent you, or you might have forgotten. You also might as well ask him about the beta. The kid's been harping about it for weeks. It would be cool if it came on his birthday. He'd be one happy camper. Hey, so what sort of insane loot did you rake in today?
I got a little Monsters poster. It's so awesome. I'm gonna watch it again today. The apple juice scene was so funny.
Oh hell, that is such a coincidence. I just found an unopened container of apple juice in my closet. It was like fucking Christmas up in here.
Okay, that's fine, but I have one question, and then a word of caution. Have you ever seen a movie called Little Monsters starring Howie Mandel and Fred Savage?
But the seal on the bottle is unbroken. Are you suggesting someone put piss in my apple juice at the factory?
All I'm saying is, don't you think Monster Howie Mandel has the power to do something as simple as reseal a bottle? Try using your brain, numbnuts.
How did the fact that whoever drank it know what piss tasted like? I mean, his reaction was not instantaneous.
It was a 15-day in a row Howie Mandel peed in his juice.
Okay, I can accept that. Monster celebrities are cunning and persistent pranksters. Also, Fred Savage has a really punchable face. Who cares about this? Let's stop talking about it. Did you get the beta yet?
No, did you?
You open the Hephaestus web browser and direct it to your ironically maintained blog, where you post monthly satirical reviews of GameBro magazine. Your latest post is a review of the March issue. You've been meaning to write a review for the latest issue too, but you've been sort of dogging it. Something about the game they're reviewing just doesn't strike you as ripe for satirical purposes. In a new tab, you open another one of your sites. A webcomic ironically maintained through the satirical cipher vaguely similar to that of your blog. It's called Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff. I can't wait to be a useless piece of shit all day and play all these games. Fuck, I'm falling down these stairs! I warned you about the stairs, bro! I told you, dog! I told you, man! I told you about the stairs! You have legions of devoted fans, most of whom are totally convinced of your creative persona's sincerity, which is just how you like it. You figure as long as you're chilling at your computer, you
Might as well see how that new MS Paint adventure story is going. You haven't looked at it in a while.
You are members of a sinister gang called the Midnight Crew. Your nefarious plots are serpentine in complexity. Your schemes convoluted. You are planning a heist in your underground hideout. What will you do? Spade Slick uses Occam's razor to carve a circular hole into heist plans, freeing it from the knife. You wonder what moron would jam the knife so hard into the table in the first place. You push against the manhole cover, but it seems some unbelievable jackass has parked your getaway van on top of it. A familiar feeling stirs. That feeling is overwhelming, soul-blackening rage. It's the sort of rage that'll make a man feel totally justified in sporting an unnecessary elaborate assortment of fancy blades.
You don't remember where you last left off, so you jump way ahead. You always forget to save your place in the story. Looks like tempers have become short in this pressure cooker already. You speculate that the tipping point might have been some ill-advised motion for a game of 52 pickup. Even though the adventure began recently, it's already over 3,000 pages long. You just don't have the time for this bullshit. You'll catch up later. Besides, it looks like someone's pestering you. You're pretty sure you know who it is.
In some cultures, the persistent refusal of a lady's invitation to play a game with her would be a sign of wanton disrespect. Either that or flagrant homosexuality.
What? Oh no. No, look, I'm busy, okay? I've got a lot of shit on my plate. It's sort of a big deal, okay?
I know. Sometimes I wonder how you were ever allowed to pay for meals in restaurants. It must be hard to keep a low profile when you're always overhearing odd voices whisper, "Is that the guy who has a blog?"
Seriously, dudes be worshipping me left and right. I can hardly walk down the street without stepping over some torsos of the prostrate.
Navigating the urban landscape, I'm sure, is difficult enough without an obstacle course of deferential flesh and skyward asses. Perhaps adapting the art of parkour to your unique environment would help.
Yeah, I mean, damn. Like there's a scruffy little shit on my feet, like an orphan or something, I don't know. Face flush on the pavement. I'm like, dude, you listening for a stampede or buffalo or something? He braves to look up at me and gives my shoe a little kiss and scurries the fuck off.
Heavy is the crown.
Yeah, not kicking Oliver Twist in the fucking face every day is my gift to the world, I guess.
Breathtaking magnanimity.
Among other things, I just give and fucking give.
Indeed, nary a jewel tumbles from your wish box of daily exploits, which I imagine does not sparkle.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You're just lobbying for me to play that dumb game.
Baseless accusation.
Look, I'm telling you, Egbert is all about that game. He will play it with you and probably be tickled stupid about it.
I know this very well. I cannot hasten his mail's delivery, however.
Yeah. I'll hassle him some more about it. And look, how about this? If you ever find yourself in the position where your life depends on me playing this piece of shit game, then I'll play. Will that make you happy?
More than you know. It perfectly mollifies my grief over the demise of chivalry.
John, what are you doing? Stop doing nothing!
Meanwhile, in the present, in a place where the present may be a concept of dubious merit, John is spacing out, but a vague, forceful thought jolts him to attention. Or maybe it is that bumping sound coming from the other side of the door. What is that? A thick, unpleasant fluid pools from beneath the door. There is a trail of this fluid in the hole, leading into your room. You've had enough of the computer for a while. You feel like you've been messing around on it all week. It's time to get your jam on. You pull up your trusty Akai MPC 1000 sampler and prepare to get sick nasty.
beets were so fresh, they belong in the produce aisle is what you're talking about. Soccer moms be thumping that shit for ripeness like melons. Know what I'm saying? After beets that fresh, it would be a crime to not reward yourself with a celebratory swig. You can't do it. John's got you all twisted up inside now. All you can think about is Mandel's gross monster piss. Damn you, Egbert! You recapture-log the juice. Your striped specimen is already allocated with the blade kind abstratus. There's no need to allocate it. You can wield your sweet ninja sword as a weapon once it is in your strife deck, but you'll have to capture-log it first before moving it there. The ninja sword occupies the same card as the juice, expelling the juice from your Sylladex. It splashes all over your turntables and your copy of the beta. Ah! You head out to get a towel from the bathroom across the hall. You glance at one of the many radical puppets in your bro's collection, and nod in approval. Is there anything not awesome about your bro? No, you think not. You enter the bathroom. There's a damp towel on the floor you can probably use for this crisis. You stop to pay a little respect to one of your bro's toys up there. Hey little man, how's it hanging? You take the damp towel, expelling the box. Nah, you just decide to wring out this towel into the toilet to make it less damp. It is now just a towel. You take the towel and grab the box again while you're at it. You clean up the juices with the towel and hang the damp beta envelopes on your line to dry off. In the breeze of the fan, the betas jostle near the open window. This arrangement is a little disconcerting. If they fell out, it would sure be a stupid way to lose them. The crisis is easily averted. You can't imagine it will ever resurface later in any way, shape, or form. That beta is as good as yours, forever. You should probably go pester Egbert again. You wonder if he found the beta yet. You also might chat about your respective Sylladeces and fetch Modi. If the topic happens to come up, you wonder if he is anywhere near as smooth with his Sylladex as you are. It's probably not even humanly possible. Suddenly, a rambunctious crow flies in the open window and snatches the beta, possibly to make a nest with, or maybe just for the sake of being a brainless, feathery asshole. You yell at the bird. Yeah, you can kiss all that stuff goodbye. You feel sorry for the bird, but at least you never planned on ever using that beta. Ever. Anyway, now that that bit of ugliness is behind you, you guess you can look forward to several more hours of messing around in your room. You prepare to descend the stairs to your living room. You are standing eye to eye with a familiar foe. A 20-foot-tall granite statue of the mighty wizard, Zazapan the Learned. Your mother had him installed through a hole in the roof with a heavy-duty crane. Just look at that mystical gaze. To peer into those aloof glassen eyes is to arrest the curiosity of any mortal. To behold the wisdom concealed in the furrows of that venerable face is to know the ceaseless joys of bewilderment itself. Any man so fortunate as to catch askance his merry twinkle or twitch of whisker shall surely have all his dreams fulfilled. You find this grisly abomination utterly detestable. There is nothing to psychoanalyze. Your mother clearly has no real affinity for these damnable things. She only collects them to spite you. If anything, she finds them even more repellent than you do. She's just a committed woman. You descend to the living room area of your home's expansive open layout. There is the sound of rushing water beneath the floor. It tends to strike guests as a strange presence in a living space, but it's become hardly audible to you through familiarity. There is the front door,
But hopefully, there's no need to make the long trek around the house in the rain. You might as well see if you can slip through the kitchen and out the back unnoticed. Okay, it's bronze, not copper. But it wasn't always. A while ago you gave this as an ironic gift to your mum for Mother's Day. You even customized it with a drink holder to support one of her ubiquitous alcoholic beverages. She liked the gift so much she had it bronzed and put on this pedestal. She even left it plugged in so that it can still be turned on now and then. But never to do any cleaning. It never leaves this display. Sometimes at night, when you are in your room, you can hear it wailing from downstairs. She must know you can hear it. She's completely deranged. It's too big to capture log. Not that you would want to move it anyway. The pretty princess doll has been sitting there for months, ever since your mother got this abomination for your birthday as a totally passive-aggressive gesture. You decide to make it much less abominable by knitting Her Majesty a new head and new arms. Now it brings a mischievous smile to your face whenever you walk by. Your mother hasn't removed the doll yet, and probably never will. She would never be the one to blink first. You're going to have a hell of a time accessing that card when you need it. You guess you'll just cross that bridge later. Liquor bottles are out in full force. Mum is surely nearby. That would be your refrigerator, whose services have customarily served as the battlefield for a chilly siege of passive-aggressive one-upmanship. This was a drawing you did of your cat Jasper's when you were younger, along with a poem about him. Your mother bought this ostentatious $15,000 frame for it, and had it welded to the door. Using the colorful magnet letters, you recently left a succinct message, which may or may not have been directed towards anyone in particular. You couldn't find the letter W, so you just stuck two V's together. Your mother then purchased a fresh pack of W's and left them there for your convenience. Appreciative of the thoughtful gesture, you left her a sincere thank you note, which you had legally notarized and then marked with a drop of blood. But part of it was touching the floor, so your mother was kind enough to lift the lower portion of the document with a velvet pillow. This is incredibly silly. You're not sure how it fits into your campaign against your mother, or getting your computer back online to escape your doom, but it's hard to resist getting a little silly sometimes, especially when you're absolutely positive no one is watching. But that unsightly void in the W-pack won't do, nor will the gash in the plastic. You deposit 27 cents in its place, which is your approximation for the letter's value. You also make a vow to return later and neatly sew the plastic shut. Now you wonder how to address the pillow situation. It seems the woman has you at a clear disadvantage. Perhaps slipping a fresh doily under the pillow will do the trick, or maybe spilling a bit of Worcestershire sauce on it and have it returned along with a laborious, ingratiating apology note. No, there's no time for anything like that. Or maybe, I'm just thinking out loud here, you can use the entire pack of W's as M's. Oh yes, that would burn. But you've already done something with that W pack, and there's no need to go back and gild that lily. This is delicate business, and that pillow is screaming for rebuttal. You decide to take the velvet pillow and lovingly embroider a poem in praise of motherhood on it. Hopefully, you can pull this off before she notices it's gone. But it causes your tree to be pretty badly unbalanced. Surely it will auto-balance itself in a moment. And just like that, the umbrella becomes accessible in the root card. That's one of the things you love about the tree modus, the happy surprises. Okay, that's enough. Time to go. Don't know how she does that. You're never safe in this house. Of all things to be doing in a power outage, she's up to her ironic housewife routine again. That mop bucket doesn't even have any water in it. What an absolute mad woman. This bird's gotta fly. Bloody goddamn stupid wizards. You're almost done patching up the hole in your window with gaffer tape. but it's sorta hard to get any work done with people pestering you all day. I guess you better get that.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, sup?
Not much. What's up with you, bro?
Good one. It's alright, being chill. I guess you know how it goes.
Great. Feeling cool today, Mr. Cool Guy?
Oh man, you know it.
So cool.
You know shit is ice cold up in here. Shit is wicked bananas, I'm telling you.
So, have you talked to John today?
Yeah, we were just talking a while ago about how he sucks at his Sylladex. Can you believe he uses stack? That kid is ridiculous.
Lol. Well, that doesn't sound like much fun.
What was it you use again? Wait, never mind. I forgot whenever we talk about your goofy moduses, I get a migraine. What do you want with John?
I wanted to tell him happy birthday and ask about his birthday package.
Oh yeah! I was being sort of cagey and told him to check his mail because I was wondering if mine came in yet.
I think it did.
Yeah?
And I think mine came too.
So, I guess you want to know if he likes it or something.
No! He will not open it. You will lose it.
Oh, wow, sorry to hear that, I guess.
No, it's good actually. Because you'll find it again later when he really needs it, which is of course why I sent it in the first place.
See, like, I never get how you know these things.
I don't know. I just know that I know.
Alright.
Anyway, I have to go. I have to feed Beck, which is always a bit of an undertaking.
Man, if I were you, I would just take that fucking devil beast out behind the woodshed and blow its head off.
I don't think I could if I tried.
Yeah. Say hi to your granddad for me too, okay?
Yeah, I guess an encounter with him is almost certain. It is usually intense.
Oh yeah, isn't it always with family? But he sounds like a total badass.
Yeah, he totally is. Anyway, gotta go.
See ya.
It'll be handy to have your phone on standby, so you won't always have to go back to your computer whenever someone pesters you. This way you can text message people no matter where you are, or what outrageously cool thing you're up to. So cool!
John, pursue adversary into that room.
And even meanwhile, in the present, sort of. Once again, the slippery antagonist eludes you. You only find more of these unpleasant, oily smears. Someone is pestering you. Both your PDA and computer register the message.
This chum will know what to do.
Alright, I'm out of my room looking for my bros game.
Oh, good. Yeah, there's no sign of Rose yet. I hope she is okay.
Well, if she comes back, I'll be ready. You better know what you're talking about, cause this could get ugly. Brought my phone, and I also took my awesome katana with me in case things get too hot to handle. And they always do.
You mean that cheap piece of shit you have on your wall?
Fuck you! It's sharp, and it's awesome, and it's a sword. End of story.
Ugh. I'm in my room again. I really think there's someone else in this house. Like, monsters or something.
Howie?
I wish.
Dude, monsters aren't real. That's stupid kid stuff for stupid babies.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right.
What are you, an idiot? Of course there are monsters in your house. You're in some weird evil monster dimension, come on. Skepticism is the crutch of cinematic troglodytes. Like, hey mom, dad, there's a dinosaur or a ghost or whatever in my room. Yeah, right, Junior, go back to bed. Fuck you, Mom and Dad! How many times are we gonna have to watch this trope unfold? It wasn't goddamn funny the first time I saw it. Just once, I'd like to see a dad crap his pants when a kid says there's a vampire in his closet. Oh shit, everyone! In the minivan! Be fucking dad of the year right there!
Okay, stop. What do I do?
What do you have? A hammer? Man, so lame. Okay. You should look into weaponizing your Sylladex. My bro is always getting on my case about it, but man, it's not as easy as it sounds. But if you're fighting monsters left and right, you don't have much of a choice.
Okay, I guess I can read up on data structure some more. How's it going there?
I'm out in the living room. He's usually here, but I don't see him. Might be playing his mind games. He's always pulling this ninja shit. All I see is a little cow over there, so I guess he can't be far.
Oh god, so lame.
What?
See, I just don't get why you think it's cool. His ventriloquist rapping thing?
Oh, Lil Cal? No, man. Lil Callus is a shit.
That's fine. You are entitled to your opinion. I'm just saying that being a white guy who is a rapper with a ventriloquist doll is not cool by any stretch of the imagination, or by any definition of the word cool, ironic or otherwise. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, bullshit. Cal is dope. Puppets are awesome. John Egbert blows. The end.
Yeah, more like the opposite of all those things is a thing that's true. I'm going to read. Good luck with your bro.
Read your book. Stay wary of these foes.
Monsters. Only stupid babies who poop in their diapers believe in that stuff.
It looks like Mom has satisfied her STRIFE quota for the day. She simply returns to her housework. No point in going out the front door anymore. Might as well head out the back, like you originally planned.
You can't be this stupid pony, and frankly, you can't imagine why anyone would want to.
But you give the pony a begrudging pat on the snout anyway. Her name is Maplehoof.
John, turn around! Data structures for assholes!
God damn it! Why do I even bother? Finally, your revolting incompetence can be put to use. Instead of accidentally firing a Silodex or a steak knife into a priceless oil painting or your beloved great aunt, you can turn that fumbling fury towards one of your foes, such as the ability to grasp painful, simple concepts. The bad news, I'm tired of explaining myself hoarse to you gibbering fuckwads. In this chapter, I will be phoning it in with the liberal use of diagrams and shitty clip art. What are you going to do about it? You're going to wriggle in your own viscous secretions like the worm you are. That's what. Here, learn something for a change.
Asshole notes!
Purse your lips together to form a stiff pucker. Apply them firmly to my rear end. I now pronounce you man and wife. Now get in the kitchen and make my ass some dinner, bitch!
You're trying to read, okay? This book is already unpleasant enough as it is without weird voices in your head nagging you to do things. Besides, I thought we agreed there's no such thing as monsters. Fine, you'll interrupt your reading and turn around, but you don't see what could possibly— Oh my god, it's a monster!
Leave through the back door. Nearby is the transformer which distributes electricity from the underground generator powered by the river flowing beneath your house. The transformer was struck by lightning though, and no longer works. You wonder if your mother has any plans to have it fixed. You guess she'd rather just play her mind games in a dark house like a weirdo. You can see the mausoleum and the portable generator across your backyard. You're almost there. You regather your items and begin the soggy trek mausoleumward.
Get up, John! This is no time for slumber!
Retrieving the W never even crossed your mind. It's just a stupid magnet!
Go! Salvage your weapon and fight on! What? Again!
You said, put the bunny back in the box!
Now why couldn't he put the bunny back in the box?
Now exult! Victory! Spoils are yours!
The amazing victory allows you to scale the first 2 achievement rungs on your Escher ladder. You are now a plucky tot with a new feather in your cap to show for it. The Escher ladder rewards your bold ascent with 125 boon dollars. You waste little time in storing them in your ceramic pork hollow. Additionally, climbing the rungs has boosted your gel viscosity and cachet limit. By expanding your cachet limit, you've made room for all that nice grist you just collected. You now have 32 fragments of build grist and 10 fragments of shale.
What about that card?
It seems the Shale Imp has allocated the bunny to its STRIFE specibus. Sort of a stupid thing to use for a weapon, but you might as well grab it and stick the bunny in your STRIFE deck while you're at it. It will at least be safer there. You group the 2 specify in your STRIFE portfolio. No self-respecting strifer would be caught dead without one.
Gather the scattered bits of your large hammer.
Oddly enough, it seems breaking the sledgehammer altered the abstratus from hammer kind to handle kind, even going as far as expelling the head of your smaller hammer from your deck to force compliance. You didn't even notice in the heat of the battle. You grab the sledgehammer handle, expelling the useless Harlequin figure.
Now repair the hammer.
You merge the sledgehammer head with its handle and return it to your STRIFE deck, repairing the hammer kind abstratus in the process. The smaller hammer handle is ejected from the deck, since, of course, handles of any sort no longer belong in there. Obviously.
Fine. Now what?
Dave is pestering you, but you don't have time to deal with his nonsense right now. Something is amiss in your room. You can't quite put your finger on it. You fire up the generator and drag a cord into the mausoleum. It would of course be foolish to run the generator inside a confined space. Generator safety is everyone's business. Sorry, Jaspers. Have to make room for the laptop. Besides, your final resting place is already a mockery. You should have decomposed years ago under a bed of petunias like a normal cat, not given to a taxidermist and fitted with a tiny custom-tailored suit and then stuffed in a coffin built for infants. You plug in your laptop and connect to the internet again. Everything predictably falls out of your Silodex, but you're not about to get bent out of shape about it. You have bigger fish to fry. Looks like Dave noticed you're back online. He pesters you like clockwork. And there's John. What on earth is he up to now?
The door, John! Look at the door!
You're right. Didn't Rose yank the door off its hinges and prop it on your bed? Someone or something has put it back and left it slightly ajar.
Incredibly alarming! Investigate! What? This is so outrageous!
Oh, there you are. John said your house is burning down. Are you on fire yet or what?
No. For now, I have retired to the safety of a smaller building which is much closer to the forest fire threatening my residence.
Oh. Well, that's a relief. John told me to get the game to help you get out of there, so I'm working on that now.
Working on it?
Yeah, my bro's copy. Long story. Hey, don't tell John about this, but I think he might have been right about the puppets. They're sort of starting to freak me out a little.
You're referring to your brother's collection?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's cool and all. The semi-ironic puppet thing or whatever. Or semi-ironic. Man, I don't even know. I'm just starting to think some of the shit is going a little far, and it's kind of fucked up.
I've seen his website. I like them.
Yeah, well, you would. Oh man, I wish little Cal wouldn't look at me like that. With those dead eyes. Jesus. Sometimes I dream that he's real and he's talking to me, and then I wake up in a cold sweat and basically flip the fuck out.
Interesting.
Oh god, why did I just tell you about my dream? We're gonna have a field day with that.
I am currently scrolling notes furiously into one of the many psychoanalysis journals I maintain for you. Published papers forthcoming. Because, you know, it's not like either of us have anything better to do at this moment than to evaluate each other's radically debilitating pathologies.
Yeah, I'm gonna get moving. Oh, have you heard from John? He's not answering me.
He won't answer me either, but I am watching him. I suspect he is preoccupied with the fact that he just had a bucket of water dumped on his head by the ghost of his dead grandmother, who happened to be dressed like a clown.
Alright, I'm out. Later.
Interrogate this mad woman.
Nana? Yes, dear? Well, you scared the living daylights out of me. Well, I guess it was a really great prank. Good one, Nana. Anyway, are you really my dead Nana? Of course, John. I have come back to help you on your journey through the medium and beyond. I am delighted to see what a fine young man you turn out to be, just like your father. Okay, I guess I will have to take your word for it. I don't remember you at all. My dad said I was really young when you died. Hey, speaking of which, do you know where he is? I looked everywhere for him. Your father was kidnapped! Oh no! When you crossed over to the medium, he was apprehended by the very forces of darkness which your presence has awakened. What? Okay, so what is this, the medium you are talking about? It is where we are now, a realm that is a ring of pure void, dividing light and darkness. It turns in the thick of the Incipisphere, a place untouched by the flow of time in your universe. You mean we are inside a computer? Or in the game software or something? A computer? Why, what is that, dear? Some newfangled contraption, like the horseless Autobox car? Well, it's like this machine that, Of course I know what a computer is, John. I was just pulling your leg. Oh, okay. No, John. You are not inside a computer or software or anything like that. Try not to be so linear, dear. The software that brought you here was merely a mechanism that served as a gateway. Its routines in a way serve to invoke this realm's instance, yet it stands independently of any physical machine, and somewhat paradoxically, always has. I'm not sure I get it, but alright. So what do I actually need to be doing here? I think it would be best if we started with the big picture. Above the medium, beyond the 7 gates, residing at the core of the Incipisphere, is a place known as Skya. Legends hold that Skya exists as a dormant crucible of unlimited creative potential. What does this mean, you ask? I'm afraid my lips are sealed about that, dear. But needless to say, where a realm of such profound importance is concerned, forces of light will forever be charged with its defense, while forces of darkness will just as persistently covet its destruction. And, as it so happens, at the center of this realm whose fate is in question, these very forces duel on a stage, stuck in eternal stalemate. Yes, they have dueled in this manner forever. That is, until you showed up. Me? Yes, you, John. Before your mishap with my ashes, you may recall the sprite's previous incarnation, which resulted from its kernel's hatching. You see, this hatching occurs automatically in response to your arrival. The result is a pair of kernels, one dark, one light, each carrying the information they were prototyped with before the hatch. One goes down to a kingdom entrenched in darkness, the other up to a kingdom basking in light. Each comes to rest in an orb atop a spire, of which there are 3 others in kind. The 4 spires are situated above a throne, and these 2 thrones preside over 2 respective sovereign powers. And once the kernels are situated, that is when the game is afoot. The true war begins. Light versus dark. Good versus evil. This is a war that the forces of light are always destined to lose, without exception.
Wow, really? Then what's the point?
That remains for you to find out, dear. For you see, the journey you're about to take is the ultimate riddle.
Whoa!
For now, your objective is to proceed towards Skya and pass through the first gate, situated directly above your house. Not even terribly far. The gates which become progressively more difficult to reach, so you better be prepared to sharpen your adventuring skills.
How am I supposed to get up there?
You build!
Oh, I think I get it now. So I guess the battle between good and evil is sort of irrelevant. Well, I don't know. That sounds kind of weird, but in any case, we build the house to get to these gates and then I can save my dad.
Yes, John!
And then after that, we can solve this ultimate riddle thing and save the Earth from destruction.
Oh no, I'm afraid not.
Huh?
Your planet is done for, dear. There is nothing you can do about that.
Oh.
Your purpose is much more important than saving that silly old planet, though.
And that is?
Yes, I will have to agree with the float bag about that.
John, you are such a good boy. I know you will succeed.
Thanks, Nana.
You are a good boy, and good boys deserve treats.
Hooray!
I am going to go bake you some cookies.
The hag mentioned cookies, but you heard.
Oh, god damn it. That's just what you need. More baked goods.
John, you do not say no to cookies. I demand you get them.
You totally abjure the hell out of that idea. You're so busy abjuring, you don't even notice Rose has been trying to pester you this whole time. You give John a swift drubbing in the noggin, but he is undeterred. That is some fit he is throwing. Perhaps you'll take the spare moment to contemplate the Nana Sprite's strange tale. It also behooves you to record your thoughts on these developments in your GameFAQs walkthrough/journal. It can be hard finding time to update it. In fact, you're not even sure where you found the time to write what's already there. Oh, is that so, Jaspers? And who do you think you're looking at with that smug grin? The last thing you need is sass from a dead cat. It's pretty much all his fault you're in this mess in the first place, so he can just button it.
John, cookies now.
You refuse outright!
This impudence is insufferable. Go get the cookies.
Well, when you put it so politely, how can John decline?
John, you are stupid.
You really need to work on your manners.
Stupid dog.
That's not a command! It's nothing! It's stupid! You're stupid!
For the last time, I command you to get the cookies, boy.
It's just not gonna happen, buddy. The long and short, the medium too.
I may have been a bit hasty in advising you not to bother with the prototyping process. If I spared any detail, it was only to optimize your chances of survival, and if you find yourself begrudging the absence of certain instructions, which if followed would have resulted in your demise, then I guess that makes two of us. Otherwise, you're welcome. But the fact appears to be that prototyping the kernel sprite before making your gateway may offer the only opportunity to exercise control over your new environment, a place known as the Medium. Also, if prototyped with one or two sufficiently, albeit loosely, humanoid and or sentient elements, living or otherwise, it offers the chance to have all this explained to you by an apparitional guide through whatever sort of cryptic, sketchy doublespeak your choice of prototyping elements engenders. In lieu of this, you may be forced to settle for my clear, thorough explanations and assiduous dissections of raw data. Again, don't mention it. If you have made it to the Medium with no unmolested vanilla sprite, well, I've already covered the bad news about this missed opportunity, and we'll go into this further soon, though to what extent this actually is bad news, I'm not sure. I only know the result of my co-player's current configuration, wherein the sprite was prototyped once before the departure, and once after. Which brings us to the good news, which is that you can still prototype after your departure and salvage the massively rewarding experience of haggling with an exposition-slinging phantom guide, so long as you avoid prototyping with terribly inert items such as a brass door knocker and your father's pornography collection. Actually, that might be interesting. If you're struck by the spirit of experimentation, don't hesitate to contact me about it. So yes, you can enhance your new sprite in this way, but doing so after your departure will no longer induce this effect on the medium I alluded to. That can only be accomplished with one or more pre-departure prototypings. In fact, we can extrapolate there are only so many ways to prototype a sprite. Tiers of prototyping in relation to departure. Both before, one after, both after, only one either before or after, none. Those occurring before will affect the medium through the kernel's hatching process, and your guide, the sprite. Those occurring after will only affect the sprite. The effects this process has on the medium, or more globally the insiposphere, are still vague to me. They will have to do with flavoring the forces you will struggle against, and generally all forces at odds with each other in this realm. It has given me some insight into the nature of this game, which again I derive through extrapolation. We appear to be engaging an instance of a dimension with a highly flexible set parameters, and a series of objectives surrounding an equally flexible mythological framework. This framework seems to begin as a sort of blank template, and evolves with the player's actions, and likely further evolves with the addition of more host-client connections, and thus more prototyped kernels. I regret to say that I can't be more specific than that, without loosely extrapolating further. There are plenty of questions that have occurred to me, however. Questions concerning the kernel sprite, which I have raised implicitly already, such as what is the effect of an unprototyped kernel sprite on the medium, or a doubly prototyped kernel for that matter? And even more salient are questions about this dimension itself. Do all players worldwide make it to this dimension if they successfully complete their departure? Or is a unique blank instance of the dimension created for each new player? I have no evidence, but instinct tells me it is closer to the latter situation. There is no indication of any other players present in this realm. Alterations in this realm seem singly centered on the actions of my co-player and myself. If I had to stake anything on it, I would guess that every separate client-server pair activates its own fresh copy of an Insinisphere, or a unique session, if you will. But the quantity of players is a further complication which invites more questions. It seems the game was designed to suit two players most naturally, the server and the client, but through a mishap my co-player and I have slipped out of this obvious tandem arrangement, and the only logical course of action to continue playing is to string a daisy chain of server-client connections together, until presumably the chain is complete. Theoretically, we could complete this chain with only one other player, functioning as a server to my client and the client to my current co-player's server, assuming he can recover it. The strange thing is though, in our instance of this dimension, there are 4 receptacles for divided kernels, not 3. Does this mean we are destined to have a 4-player chain? How could the game know such a thing? Perhaps it does, and if this proves to be the case, I trust I'll be sufficiently numb to the realization. I can consider nothing about this game to be surprising at this point, and in fact from the first moments of play, it managed to deviate so far from my expectations that I completely forgot what my original purpose with it was. I had chances to test some information I obtained on good authority during the prototyping phases, but it completely slipped my mind. In fact, the game's catacombs securing the dark and twisting paths of necromancy were blundered into rather on accident, but perhaps you don't need to know any of this. Rethink organization. Lead may be waist-deep logaheric sludge. Trim down. Blah. She's not finished with this yet. Jeez, cut her some slack. Maybe you could go bug someone somewhere else for a while. Or at the very least, somewhen else.
Hi, happy birthday, Rose!
Hello, and thanks.
Did you get John's present yet?
I just opened it this very moment. What a stunning coincidence you would ask about it now. I am stunned.
Yeah, I know. What will you make with it?
And who said it was something from which something else could be made?
Well, John did tell me what it was, duh.
I suppose I'll take a stab at learning the craft. It's the least I can do in response to the subtle dig concealed in his gesture. He often tells me I need a new hobby when I make perfectly reasonable analytical remarks.
Oh, but Rose, I don't think he meant anything like that by it. You see, not everybody always means the opposite of what they say the way you and Dave always do.
Maybe. His birthday is in a few months, isn't it?
Yep, I finally finished a present for him. I've been working on it for years.
Years? It's so hard to tell when you're joking, or if you're even capable of it.
I just mailed it too, so it's sure to get there on time. Mail takes a while to get anywhere from here.
I'll probably craft something with strong sentimental value. That should burn him.
I don't think you really meant that.
I guess not. So, shall I expect a green package dropped to my house via airmail from whatever screwball cranny of the globe you're tucked into?
No. Sorry, but you're sort of hard to shop for. Besides, I have something for you today that I think you'll like better than something in a box.
Oh?
It is a tip!
This is already intriguing enough to compensate for the grave scarcity of lavish gifts parachuting from the sky. Please, go on.
Did you have a pet a long time ago that died?
Yes.
Okay, well, how do you feel about your cat? Did you love him a lot?
Okay, well, I didn't mention it was a cat, or that it was male. Let's pretend I'm surprised and you're embarrassed and move on. To answer your question, I would describe my feelings towards the animal as lukewarm.
Okay, that's fine. It doesn't really matter, I think, just what if someone told you could play a game that would bring him back to life?
If someone told me that, I would regard the remark with a great deal of skepticism. If that someone was you, on the other hand, then I would have to ask preemptively. Is that someone you?
Yes, that someone is me. I just thought that you might find it interesting.
So what is this game?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying is all. I think you'll hear about it later and maybe you can talk to John and Dave about it. They are way more into all that stuff than I am.
I'll see what the word on the street is about it, in due time. For now, I should probably order a copy of Knitting for Arseholes. It would be a shame if I ran late with John's present. You capture lock your katana and prepare to venture out into the apartment to retrieve your bro's copy of the game. But first, maybe, just maybe... Dude, that bird is long gone. It probably won't last long in this heat anyway. You don't even know what's up with this sick heat. The sun threatens to set but won't step off. It's staring you down. Like the big red eye of a hot needle skipping on a groove it's tracing around the earth. While lingering in midair, its heat seems to suspend time itself, stretching it like a warped vinyl. It's meant to rain this season, but there ain't been a drop in sight. Even a little drizzle would help. Might help to fizzle this sizzle a little brizzle, and set the record straight on this global turn-tizzle. So don't change the dizzle, turn it up a little. I've got a living room full of fine dime brizzles, waiting on the pizzle, the dizzle and the shizzle. G's to the bizac, now lady wee wee gizzo. When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. English romantic poet, John Keats. Sorry, little dude. Coming through. Gotta put you down for a bit. You figure you left him hanging long enough? You barge in and see a familiar face, a friendly face. You stand in the living room. Your bro spends most of his day in here. At night, he crashes on the futon over there. You don't see him anywhere though. There's the puppet chest he stores Lil Cal when he takes him out on gigs. But when he's home, he usually leaves Cal on display somewhere. And with good reason, because Cal is totally sweet. So sweet, man. It's your brother's Mr. T puppet, which is of course kept in the apartment with a sense of profound humorous irony. But as usual with your bro's exploits, this is no ordinary irony, or anything close to a pedestrian Tier 1 ironic gesture, which is a meager single step removed from sincerity. This is like 10 levels of irony removed from the original joke. It might have been funny, like 8 years ago, to joke about Mr. T and how he was sorta lame, but that was the very thing that made him awesome and badass, and that his awesomeness was also sort of the joke. But in this case, the joke is the joke, and that degree of irony itself is also the joke, and so on. Only highly adept satirical ninjas like you and your bro can appreciate stuff like this. It's cool making stuff that other people think is funny but you know really isn't, and making it funny again by adding subtle strata of irony which are utterly undetectable to the untrained eye. Also, for good measure, Mr. T is wearing a leather thong and handcuffed to a pantsless Chuck Norris puppet. God, you hope you can be as good as your bro at this someday. You'd never tell him that though. Cal is nowhere in sight. All you see are a bunch of your bro's weird nude puppets strewn around haphazardly. I think these things are kinda cool. Sort of. It looks like your bro was playing. It's not like him to leave in the middle of some totally intense gaming. Not like him to misplace Cal either. Man, you hope the little guy's alright. Oh, there you are, dude. Didn't see you there. We be chill today, Cal. Yeah, you better fucking believe we be chill. Cal is the man. You fail to resist the urge. You start thrashing up stunts, something uncanny brutal on your quest for mad snacks, yo, and get this wayward hunger under control. Shit is basically flying off the hook. It's like shit wants nothing to do with that hook. The hook is dead to that shit. But you get stuck in some poorly modeled 3D texture or something, like a railing or a piece of the wall. You'll have to reset. Fuck this shit. Oh man, you almost forgot. Gotta give C-Man some props. Your bro has so much sweet gear, it's hard to keep up with it all sometimes. Here's his computer setup. He's usually got a lot of stuff cooking on here at any given moment. Since he's not around, you might as well sneak a peek. Your bro's computer is password protected, of course, to protect all the incredible top secret shit he's got on the burners. Of course, you know what the password is, and he knows you know it, and you're both cool with it because the password is the most awesome thing it can be. You enter the password. On the desktop is a hodgepodge of unnamed folders to store all the stuff he's been working on. No one can decipher his organization system but him. He also tends to use the application Complete Bullshit to keep up with the ludicrous amount of websites and newsfeed he monitors to stay hip to the scene. Well, this is complete bullshit. Your bro keeps up with your projects in his aggregator, just like you keep up with his. He's tuned into your various blogs, and of course, Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff. You navigate to the latest comic in one of the many bullshit feed bands.
Bro, I got ticket for the big game! It's sports!
God, I am so jealous! You know I love the big game!
Oh yeah! And there he goes! The big man has the rock! He's diving so hard through the point! Down! And he on the slam dunk! Oh!
Another one of your bro's many ironic websites. The difference here is that he rakes in thousands of dollars a month through this enterprise. Smuppets are a multi-billion-dollar-a-year enterprise, and it's awfully hard to resist taking a firm squeeze from the plump udder of that cash cow. You guessed you messed around on his computer enough. Better get a move on before it's too late for Rose. Or worse yet, your bro catches you. But, my god, the rumps, they are transfixing. You know this is ironic and all, and your bro reaches echelons of irony you could only dream of daring to fathom. But on rare occasions, when your guard is down, it all seems a tad unsettling to you.
Oh, hey! Hey there, Cal. You're sort of starting to flip the fuck out. Without losing your cool, of course. You get Egbert on the line again to give him the lowdown on your progress. You feel it's important to keep the wires hot. But he's not answering. You wonder what that guy is up to.
Hey, what is up? What happened with the monster that is totally definitely in your room? Did you kill it? Where are you, man? Anyway, things are cool here. Totally cool. Puppets are still awesome. No problems with them or anything. Like, just really, really awesome.
Looks like Rose is finally logged in again. Didn't John say her house is burning down? You wonder if she's on fire yet or what?
Oh, there you are. John said your house is burning down. Are you on fire yet or what?
No. For now, I've retired to the safety of a smaller building which is much closer to the forest fire threatening my residence.
Oh. Well, that's a relief. John told me to get the game to help you get out of there, so I'm working on that now.
Working on it?
Yeah, my bros copy. Long story. Hey, don't tell John about this, but I think he might have been right about the puppets. They're sort of starting to freak me out a little.
You're referring to your brother's collection?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's cool and all. The semi-ironic puppet thing or whatever. Or semi-ironic. Man, I don't even know. I'm just starting to think some of the shit is going a little far, and it's kind of fucked up.
I've seen his websites. I like them.
Yeah, well, you would. Oh man, I wish little Cal wouldn't look at me like that. With those dead eyes, Jesus. Sometimes I dream that he's real and he's talking to me, and I wake up in a cold sweat and basically flip the fuck out.
Interesting.
Oh god, I have to tell you about my dream. We got a field day with that.
I'm trying to this seriously to make my house do something for you. Publish papers for fun. Because now it's not here or something that feels like the building qualities.
Yeah, I'll get moving. Oh, you're done. Not answer me.
I'm not answering either, but I'm watching you.
Alright, I'm out.
John, what are you doing? Snap out of it! We ought to discuss what your grandmother told you, don't you think? Fine, enjoy your stupor. I'll go about my business elsewhere.
John, whenever you read this, you should know I put the shale you collected to use and finally deployed the punched Designix. I can only drop it though. You'll have to be the one to mess around with it and see what it does. When you're finished with your weird histrionics, maybe you could give it a try? I'm updating my walkthrough and it would help to know what it does. Also, I should probably warn you that your house and yard are completely infested with monsters now. Try to be careful.
So I can see. Stupid lousy imps. They're mucking up all my cool stuff.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm not sure what came over me there. I was acting really crazy for some reason, but my head feels like it's clearing up. I think I'm alright now.
You're getting way better at this sort of thing. Thank God your sanity has returned, so you can entertain extremely rational, coherent thoughts like this one. You examine the pogo ride from the bathroom window. You do not like what you see.
These sons of bitches! No one risks a painful injury in your green slime ghost pogo ride! No one but you! Rose! My piano! Aww!
Sorry, no nuance to these controls at all. I was hoping to bludgeon the imp without letting go of it. Guess I can't really do that. A broken piano isn't the end of the world, though.
I guess you're right.
You'll need to pick up the spoils in person. I can't interact with the grist.
So, that means I have to go out the back door?
Yes, is there a problem?
Well, it may sound dumb, but I was hoping to avoid Nana and her spooky ghost cookies.
You're right, that does sound dumb.
Can you see her in the kitchen?
Yeah?
What's she doing? Is she baking?
You could say that.
Are you sure you can't get that grist up to me somehow?
Maybe.
Doesn't look like that grist is going anywhere. You just never know with these gaming abstractions.
There you go. Now why don't you go check out the Designix? You can do that while I get to work.
On what?
The piano in its valiant effort has unfortunately been slain.
but if it hadn't, it would have raked in so many boondollars. You have no idea. So many.
Nana said to build, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, okay.
But this sure is going to take a lot of grist. Looks like you're going to be busy, John.
Ah! Well, what are you building?
Stairs? They are fairly expensive, actually.
Oh, man. I could have warned you about the stairs, Rose!
I'll try recouping some of this grist from the catwalk I built earlier.
It keeps happening!
Ah, good. It looks like I can get a refund for earlier allocations.
I told you, Rose! I told you about the stairs!
Okay, consider me fully briefed on the matter of stairs. Now, if you don't mind, it's hard enough to concentrate on this without immersing ourselves in Strider's non sequitur.
Do you know he thinks puppets are cool?
Does he?
He's so dumb!
Okay, obviously you don't have enough grist yet for something that ambitious, but you can get started with something of a foundation for upwards construction at least.
No imps in here, just a lot of shaving cream. Dads love shaving, it's basically all they do. When they're not baking, that is. You capture log 2 cans of shaving cream, just in case. You never know when you'll need to bust out a hilarious shaving cream Santa beard to ratchet up your prankster's gambit. Your telescope goes flying out the window. It's a little cramped in here for any sort of proper reckless pogoing. I'll just grab it and hang on to it until the right moment presents itself. The towel floats back down to the rack. The circle of stupidity is complete. It looks like the imps have taken a shining to the Crookstruder. Crookside and black goo everywhere! Well, okay, it's not a Slimer pogo, but you mount it anyway and brandish your deadly armaments. This is incredibly dangerous! What? Oh shit!
Mr. John, respectfully ask that you please stand up.
Don't move or the pogo gets it!
Now, Subway, leave from this forest grapple post-haste.
The refrigerator skyrockets up the echelon ladder to a new rung, 5-star General Electric, and earns 285 boondollars. Things are looking up for this feisty appliance.
Well done, John. Polite congratulations.
For some reason, you feel a sense of positive reinforcement. Wherever that feeling is coming from, it sure is a welcome change from your erratic moods earlier.
Now, my simple fellow, I have a well-managed query to ask.
I blocked the entrance to the study to give you some space to work with the Designics. John, the imps are behind you. Should I take care of it? You trapped your PDA again, didn't you? Why did you have to pick up all that stupid shaving cream? So pointless!
Might I bother you for a time, huh?
Oblivious to the commotion behind you, suddenly you find yourself pondering the whereabouts of the can opener. You think there is probably one in the kitchen, but the path is blocked by your refrigerator. John is completely unresponsive. What the hell is that nincompoop doing?
Appendix 3, Screen Captures, Part 1. I can't take as many as I'd like to for comprehensive documentation. For what it's worth, here's what I've managed to collect so far. More captures forthcoming. Co-player John assesses environment after transition to medium, followed by Sprite, sans kernel, prototyped 1 pre-hatch, completely useless in this form. Severed from suburban grid, house remains mysteriously powered, convenience presumably facilitated by game, which perhaps deems navigating a powerless house to be a handicap less in keeping with the spirit of the game's principal statement of challenge. Internet connection remains stable as well. Will likely remain stable until the internet itself is compromised by some external threat. Something like, let's say hackers. Kill monsters, get grist, build onto house. That's the game. Didn't know what the point of this was at the time. Floundering trial and error on exhibits. Unsuccessful attempt at Tier 2 prototyping. Knowing what I know now, I might have avoided using a backbreaking vademecum for practical jokesters rife with antiquated lexicon and racist aphorisms. Either that, or I might have tried harder to succeed. Final screen capture before I lost my internet signal for a time. I don't know what happened thereafter, but when I returned the car was nowhere to be found, and the driveway plateau was in a state of disrepair. The mysteries, will they ever cease? Sprite prototype once more with grandmother's remains. She treats John to some helpful exposition in a friendly and grand-maternal manner. Co-play has displayed inexplicably capricious behavior since arrival. Stress-related? Contracted virus indigenous to the realm? It should be noted he was kind of a weird guy anyway. DesignX deployed. Still no clue what this does, at mercy of co-players' foolish prioritization tendencies. Grist payload from slain foe. Whether I deal the damage or co-player does, yield is the same, though I have a significant advantage in battle. Taking measures into my own hand deprives John of hand-to-hand combat experience, which ostensibly will become more crucial later. Building. The point. Building upward. The point. Sharpened and directed. Ah, steeds, steeds, what steeds? As the whirlwind of a home in your manes, is there a sensitive ear, alert aflame, in your very fibre, hearing the familiar song from above, all in one accord as you strain your bronze chest and hooves, barely touching the ground, turn into straight lines, cleaving the air, and all inspired by God, it rushes on. Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck he's doing here. Another one of these things? Really, Egbert family? Really? A view of his kidnapped father's room. I can't see in here for some reason. Perhaps it is because John himself has never entered the room. It is possible I can see only, in a sense, what John can see, or has seen already. I have not found the time to discuss this with him yet. If he enters the room, the question may answer itself. Ladders seem to be a bit cheaper than stairs.
Hello, John. It appears we have reached an impasse.
Yes, it seems so.
The opener dilemma remains unsettled, most unfortunately.
It is unfortunate, I guess. What are we talking about again?
But it has been a pleasure nonetheless.
Thanks for the courtesy? It's not really necessary, but thanks anyway.
Oh, but thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so very, very much, dear favorable small primate. I shall take my leave now, John. Until next time.
Wait, where the hell did all this sweet loot come from? And why is there suddenly a crumpled hat on your head? Feeling especially economical with your behavior suddenly, you scoop up all the grist in your room and turn your attention to the Punch DesignX, all in one fell swoop. The device features a countertop station designed with a keyboard setup. Not unlike an old-fashioned computer, there is a blinking red light and a diagram etched into a panel. Okay, wait, hold on. Why am I getting this stupid-ass game for you? You're the one who should be wrist-deep in puppet-ass.
What is the specific problem?
The problem is I'm up to my goddamn neck in fucking puppet dong.
You know you like the mannequin dick. Accept it.
I'm enrobed in chafing, wriggling, god-fucking-damned puppet pelvis. An obscenely long, coarse Kermit cock is being draped across my anguished face.
Let's put this into perspective. You put up with the puppet prostrate because you love it. Also, corpse is a good word.
You don't seem to harbor any sympathy for the fact that burrowed fuck deep into lively, fluffy Muppet buttock. I'm whirling in the terrible cyclone at the epicenter of my own personal holocaust of twitching foam noses. It's like a fucking apocalypse of perky proboscis in here. The proboscalypse, I guess.
Are you going to start rapping about this?
What? No, listen.
Prong of flesh bereft of home, found solace twixt cleft of foam.
No, oh
of
Jesus.
Apocalyptic thoughts eclipse, a painted pair of parted lips that dare through kiss to stir the air, that teases tufts of orange hair, and though faces flush and lovers fits, hands snug and plush as gloves befit.
Okay, Dickinson, if you can shut your perfumey trap for half a second. This is serious. I'm just saying, if I see one more soft bulbous bottom being like kinda jutting out and impotent or whatever, I'm gonna fly off the handle. I'm gonna do some sort of acrobatic fucking pirouette off the handle and win like a medal or some shit.
And let's hope there'll be a squishy derriere somewhere below the handle to break your fall. You flip over the top card containing your pogo ride. Anytime you capture log something, a new code appears on the back of the card. You've always wondered what the code was for. Damn, these things are hard to read. But then you've never really found any reason to decipher them. Until now, perhaps. Looks like cards from your STRIFE deck have codes too. You enter the code DQMMJLEK into the keyboard. At least you think that's what the code is. The red light switches off. A green light begins flickering. In the interest of due diligence, you enter the other code and repeat the process with that card too. Both cards are now punched with different hole patterns. Okay, well that should be a simple matter of... Uh-oh. It looks like it's trapped now. You don't see how you can access the item anymore, or store a new item in there for that matter. These cards are pretty much useless now, and the items they contain are toast. But maybe all is not lost. Recalling from your experience with the pre-punched card, you may be able to use the cards to replicate the items in question. Assuming you got the codes right, that is. Not quite through with your cowboy empiricism just yet. You mash at the keyboard to generate a random code. You enter Discuscus. The design stops you after 8 characters, which appears to be the maximum length for a code. The green light goes on, signaling its readiness for a card. You figure you might as well burn the shaving cream, since the product is not exactly at a premium in your household. You also figure you might as well merge the 2 cans onto one card. You're a little sad your dad isn't around for this. You have a feeling he would get a real kick out of the idea of duplicating more shaving cream. You punch the card with a pattern that is in no way related to the code for the item it contains. This should make for an interesting experiment. Mad science is a lot of fun. Unfortunately, you just burned another card in the process. Your deck is really dwindling now. Maybe you should have thought this through a little better. On the plus side, you just freed up your PDA, which is overflowing with the pent-up chatter of anxious pesterers.
Puppets! Awesome! That's really all there is to say on the matter!
John, I'm about to throw a bathtub through your wall. Watch out!
Wow, that was totally unnecessary.
I made a shortcut upstairs. I thought it would be a good idea to get up there and try the cards as soon as possible. Also, you weren't being terribly responsive.
You mean these stairs? Man, look at these shitty stairs. They're so narrow. I'm supposed to climb those?
They're perfectly navigable. I'm saving on grist for now. If you keep slaying foes, collecting grist, and expanding the cachet limit, we may not need to be so economical with our resources in the future.
So why didn't you just build a way through that hole into Dad's room?
Have you been in there?
No.
Exactly.
Huh?
I'd rather not get sidetracked. I'm more interested in further exploring the mechanics of the game than watching you discover what sort of outlandish Harlequin decor your father keeps in his room.
Oh, come on, what's the big deal? I'll just climb up and go right through.
Will you?
Yeah, why not?
Are you saying you've never wondered what's in there? Or why it's been kept a secret from you?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Then trust me, you won't be going right on through.
Wait, are you saying there's something, like, troubling in there?
I don't know.
What do you mean? What do you see in there?
I can't see in there.
Oh.
But I don't have a very good feeling about it.
Whatever. I think I can handle a few more stupid clown paintings.
You swoop up the bountiful supply of grist generated by your co-player's recent exploits. From now on, it will probably go without saying that you'll nab any grist lying around without making a big fuss over it. You check out the busted safe, which has made a noble sacrifice in battle. Some of your father's odds and ends have spilled out, including some old newspaper clippings and 2 rather hefty tomes. It's a fair bet that these books comprised at least half of the weight of the safe. It's another copy of Colonel Saska's daunting text of magical frivolity and practical japery. This one looks really old, perhaps an original printing. Could it be the same one involved in your grandmother's unfortunate accident on that fateful day? Dad would never speak a word about it, but maybe Nana wouldn't be so tight-lipped. You give it a cursory perusal. It appears to be similar to your reprinting, listing all the japes and chicanery you have come to know and love. You capture lock it, thinking you may give it a closer look later. You take a look at the other book. You're sure Dad thought this was a scintillating read, but it looks pretty boring to you.
The Fatherly Gents Shaving Almanac.
Maybe you'll crack into it one day when you're old enough to shave. Everything in the safe was obviously very important to your father. You wonder why he kept it locked away from you. Some things about him you will never understand. It seems he's been collecting scraps from the news over the years. These articles go back decades.
Son, if you are reading this, it means you are now strong enough to lift the safe. You are now a man. As such, you are entitled to what is inside. I know you will take this responsibility seriously. I am so proud of you.
You guess this is the combination to the safe. This is completely useless. You guess these are all zeros? Or are they capital O's? Zeros would probably make more sense for an empty card, you think? Wait, John, before you punch that... Oh, I was about to say, if you first took note of the code, then remove the card from the card, you could have punched the blank one? You would have only burned 1 card instead of 2.
Oh yeah, you're right! Damn it!
What? The 2-card Siladex. Inventory of dumbasses. The Colonel soars to new heights on his echelon ladder, reaching the rung one-man jewel of vacuum, and pockets 9,550 boon dollars. Chump change for the genteel aristocratic Southern Colonel. The bathtub surges heroically and surpasses the rung Archimedes Aqua Cradle, proceeding directly to vaunted rung Taft Jammer. The tub makes off with a cool 490 boon dollars. The tub's basin capacity remains unaffected. The safe was slain in battle. A great flaming nautical pyre carries it to Valhalla. You're not sure. They look pretty precarious to you, but you've been assured the stairs are perfectly navigable.
Oh, these goddamn stupid stairs!
You wander over to the place where your bro keeps his sweet turntable gear. Man, that setup is sweet. You feel pangs of jealousy whenever you walk by it. Really cool jealousy though. Like the kind where instead of getting all worked up about it, you don't actually give a shit. One of your brother's rad and extremely expensive ninja swords is missing though. You know this drill all too well. Troubles are brewing. What sword? You approach the exit. There's something on the door you haven't seen before. Looks like one of your bro's ironic comics he left for you to check out.
What have I done? Animal, please keep breathing. Oh God, please breathe. Haha, okay, make-believe time is over. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh... What will Nanny do to me if she finds out? No one can ever know. I have to hide the body, but where? Think, imagination. The one time I really need you.
Okay, some of the stuff you know he's just leaving around to get under your skin. This is obviously another ploy in his relentless siege of one-upmanship to get your goat. The same goat you've been meaning to bleat like, ironically. But I'll still have to wait for a more appropriate time. You think he knows that deep down, you feel like you're still not ironic enough to get stuff like this. And this is probably some weird gauntlet he's been throwing down to see if you will get it. But honestly, you think this material is just a little too ironic. You don't need to see this shit right now. No sign of bro in here either. Well, aside from the absurd quantity of awesome, dangerous stuff he leaves lying around. With an escalating sense of threat, you think it's time to shift your katana to your specibus. You think it's better to free up the card anyway, since you might need to grab some of this stuff. You guess bro stuck some fake blood capsules in that puppet? Pretty gross. You spot one of your bro's many webcams nearby, recording the incident. It seems you may have just been an unwitting accessory to some sort of grisly puppet snuff film. You're not totally sure how you feel about that. This might be the only thing in the whole apartment that's a bigger piece of shit than your own sword. You put it back behind the microwave where it belongs. It's just sort of bouncing around in there. You're making a bit of a mess now. See, like, his hobbies are cool and all, and he guess he's gotta put his shit somewhere. But what if he just wanted to heat up a burrito or something? This kitchen is pretty much useless. You capture log all the fireworks the sink has to offer. You just know these are going to come in handy. Why would they be in the sink if they weren't? Looks like one of them is still stuck in the garbage disposal. You grab the shurikens and... Hey, careful where you're putting that stuff, especially if you're looking to turn your Silodex into a powder keg of sharp things. You put the box of fireworks back into card 5 and prepare to start up... Or card 3, apparently. That settles that, you guess. You take the nunchaku. Once again, grabbing without thinking ahead. First, you capture log the box, again, while adeptly avoiding the shuriken trap, which you yourself set only moments ago. You again round up all the fireworks. Time to regroup here. You grab each shuriken, one at a time, knocking out those nunchaku. But no worries, you've got a plan. You take the nunchucks. Everything seems to be in order now. It would have been badass to go with the authentic Japanese names for each weapon, but sometimes you've just gotta compromise with this modus. You flip over your fetch modus and check out the back. You're not really sure where it is you're keeping this thing? Ah well, who cares. Oh hell no, not after all that trouble you went through just to get that stuff situated. This is potentially a very dangerous button. First, you program your modus with a Scrabble Points hash function, adding it to the list. This might be a cool function to use, but it looks like you'll have to empty your Sylladex to select it. You're just not gonna do that yet. No way. Okay. What is this guy so happy about? What's he looking at up there? You think if you see one more soft bulbous bottom being like, kinda jutting out and impotent or whatever, you're gonna fly off the handle. You take the skateboard. Actually, no you don't. A collision has been detected. You take the, wheeled ride. Man, your inventory's nomenclature is getting lamer by the minute. You take the power cord. Wait, no, not gonna work. You take the battery pack. Damn it! You take the battery pack. Using the Y as a consonant, your Sylladex reluctantly accepts. It's a tactic notoriously employed by hash map noobs. You just don't care about that now. Besides, it's not like your bro's around to see. Oh, it was just little Cal again. You can never stay mad at him. Anyways, you gotta get this rude hunger under control. You figure you ought to scope out the fridge for some grub. This hunger is so ill-mannered, it would make a room full of snooty dowagers commit mass suicide. Oh God, more shitty swords. Of course you knew these things were in here. You're not even sure why you looked. If you want to keep any food or beverages in this apartment, you pretty much got no choice but to hide stuff away in your closet. The hell with it. You try to take the entire jumble of unbelievably shitty swords and brace yourself for... Oh, no, looks like that works, actually. You capture log the jumble of unbelievably shitty swords. You dispense several cherry bombs. Wait, who's that looking at you in the reflection? Where'd that little dude scamper off to this time? You go for the cherry bombs. Unsuccessfully. After mulling it over a bit, you take the red spherical salutes. Blender is a pretty simple word, and you can already tell that's not going to work. Instead, you take the whirling blade pitcher. That's really a much better name for it anyway, you think. Still not sure what he's so happy about, or what he's looking at up there. While you're at it, you dump the contents of the blender, oops, I mean the whirling blade pitcher, into the disposal. But you suffer an unfortunate garbage disposal head jam. You notice something in the reflection, something above you. It's the hatch to the crawl space above your apartment. Bro's always tucking away in there when he's busting out his rad stealth stunts. He's so slick, that dangling cord never even jostles. You just know he's being ironic with all these weird mind games. There's no way anyone could be serious about aping those shitty movies. It's a pretty sweet fort you just made, and you're pretty sure your brother would agree. Under different circumstances, you might be high-fiving over it right now, but rather than get inside and take it for a spin, you really just need to use it to get up to that hatch. It's time to face your destiny. No going back now. Pretty much no way there wasn't gonna be a bunch of puppets in there.
Okay, wait, hold on. Why am I getting this stupid-ass game for you? You're the one who should be wrist-deep in puppet-ass.
What is the specific problem?
The problem is I'm up to my goddamn neck in fucking puppet dong.
You know you like the mannequin dick. Accept it.
I'm enrobed in chafing, wriggling god-fucking-damn puppet pelvis. An obscenely long, coarse Kermit cock is being draped across my anguished face.
Well, let's put this into perspective. You put up with the puppet puppy because you love it. Also, coarse is a good word.
You don't seem to harbor any sympathy for the fact that borrowed fuck deep into lively, fluffy muppet buttock. I'm whirling in the terrible cyclone at the epicenter of my own personal holocaust of twitching foam noses. It's like a fucking apocalypse of perky proboscis in here. The proboscalypse, I guess.
Are you going to start rapping about this?
What? No, listen.
On the flash rest of punk, found solid fixed that with
Oh, Jesus.
Behind his hair, often with the beverage, sturdy ass, teeth, puppet orange head, and those things flushing lovers, big pants, loving touch of love with it.
Okay, then you can shut your creamy trap for half a second. This is serious. I'm just saying, if I see one more soft bullet spot and being like, trying to shut out and whatever, and fly off the handle, there's some sort of acrobat fucking hero out the handle and win like a medal or some shit.
Let's look at this. Some of those handles breakable.
Now, bring cow. We're doing it, man. We're making this happen.
You are now the other guy. This was so much fun. A huge waste of time, yes, but so much fun. You put the punch card containing the pogo ride into the slot, and carve a totem from one of the Crookside dowels. You use the card containing the code for the hammer, as well as the one with the random code you punched over the shaving cream card for the hell of it. You carve the respective totems for the cards. You make a totem for the capture log card. Pretty bare bones totem if you ask you. You stow the totems in your Aphenium. The Alchemiter requires 1 unit of any type of grist to produce 1 card. You decide to use shale, since it seems generally less useful than build grist as for now. You make a whole bunch of them.
Whoa, did you just make all these?
Yes.
Sweet, thanks! What did you do with all the blue wobbly vase-looking things?
I brought the totems out to the Alchemiter to test them. I'm taking some things into my own hands to save some time.
Okay.
You create a hammer at the expense of 2 units of build grist. You make a pogo ride too, -5 build, 1 shale. You use the totem carved with the random code. You create a rocket pack? With some random crap stuck inside it. It looks like a cinder block, a violin, and a flower pot. The items have rendered the device completely inoperable. I figure you might as well put this piece of junk to use. Using a little strategy, first you grab Harry Anderson's Wise Guy by Mike Cavaney, then the cards, then your ejected PDA, then the book again to flush the cards into your deck. Nice going! You flip over your fetch Modi, but find no such option. This is idiotic.
An introduction. Who's this wise guy? Blood loss and the Big Easy. New Orleans, 1977. The close-up room at the Magic Castle was this mean little box that tended to fill up with so much smoke, you swear someone was cremating a wet dog in there. In walks Anderson. There isn't much that gets liquor to pause its journey from the table to my lips, but I'll be the bastard love child of a listless octoroon if that kid wasn't the cat that swallowed the canary in a dapper little hat. It looked like he was testing the tensile strength of his suspenders to the damn near limit with a pair of cocky thumbs. I wasn't impressed, but I was a fool. Somehow, in my motion for another beverage, he'd already slipped into polite conversation at a table held down by some notorious brusque regulars. He had them in no time flat. They were melting butter in his glass ramekins. Whatever tidy yarn he spun to win them over, I didn't catch a word of it. One of them laughed. I was angry. Envious? Maybe a little. Yeah, you bet I was. Anderson had one of those little wooden finger choppers that Mickey Hayes used to sell. The kind where the blade could be removed and clearly shown. It was a very convincing looking guillotine that did not look like a novelty store toy. Harry would get a guy to examine the chopper and then cut a cigarette in half. Then he'd held the guy's hand up, told them this silly story. The story, of course, was artifice. A distraction for the guy in the audience while he worked his stuff with the chopper. or it would become that, once his famous chopper trick was perfected, vaulting into fame, fortune, and the crowning position in the television judiciary. With what became his signature aplomb, Anderson was in moments a font of breast pocket gauze, profuse apology, and a redoubling determination. It's really amazing how hard it is to find a bloody sausage-sized piece of a guy on the floor of a room that dark and smoky. Just as impossible as blind Willie Buttermilk Stubbs was gonna find it to work his trumpet tomorrow night without his twiddling fingers.
You never really understood what Cavaney's relationship to Anderson was, or why he wrote this book about him? His ambivalent attitude towards your favorite magician in these anecdotes always struck you as a little weird, and, to be honest, you tend not to read much of the text in the book. You mostly like to look at the diagrams for all the cool tricks.
Here's a perfect example of how Harry could ruin several decks of cards, waste everyone's valuable time, and have you love him for it. He was good at that. One day, he noisily emptied his suit jacket pocket onto the hood of his car, in search for change for the meter. A clunky metal thing slid from the pile and bounced on the sidewalk. As I retrieved it for him, I asked what he was doing with a hole puncher in his pocket. His face lit up at the question like he was an elf, and I asked him how he felt about climbing into the hollow of a tree to bake some cookies or something. The 2'6" height differential between us caused these comparisons to enter my mind. A small crowd had already gathered around, even before he produced the first pack of unmolested cards. How people seem to gather, and how they even know a street performance is about to take place, I'll never know. It's perhaps Anderson's greatest trick, luring the marks like that. I wanted to ask if he was sure about this. Performing in broad daylight, he was used to working in dark rooms. It was usually the first thing out of his mouth when he would queer a trick. I'm usually more accustomed to working in darker rooms than this, but Harry was excited. He had already butchered the first deck of cards with the hole puncher, and issued the first round of apologies to the crowd. These were like the primer apologies, the sort that got the folks loosened up a bit before the 7-course meal of ingratiation that would inevitably follow. He asked me for a fresh deck of cards, and I gave him one. The principle behind the trick in theory, as he explained to me later, was to punch holes in what appeared to be one card, but was in fact 2 or more together, hence the difficulty he often had in squeezing the puncher with his little elfish hands. Then using some coy maneuver with his thumbs, temporarily concealing the hole, while he slid the card beneath his palms, the hole would seem to disappear or move to another part of the card.
Oh yeah, that's right! The old hole in the ace trick. Interestingly enough, pertaining to punching holes in the cards and making them disappear and stuff, your hands were never really strong enough to make this one work all that well either. But actually, this gives you an idea. You overlap 2 of the punched cards. They mask each other's hole patterns. You carve another totem using the new combined hole pattern. Oh man, looks like Rose made like a million hammers for some reason. Get all this shit out of the way. You're about to make something sweet. You got the Pogo Hammer. What did you do?
I combined the cards in the lathe thingy and made this. It is so sweet. Man, look at me go.
I see. That was a really good idea, John. Nice work.
Thanks. I got the idea from Harry Anderson.
Who?
You know the show Night Court?
No?
Oh. Well, bottom line is, he's awesome. That's really all there is to say on the matter.
You get a vicious rhythmic bouncing combo going, and easily slay the imp in one blow. You and the Pogo Rider catapulted sky high in the process.
Hey, that was a pretty, nice,
Sweet cat?
save. Oh yeah, that. This is pretty comfy. Why don't you just, like, carry the bed around with me on it? Up to the gate up there.
I can't interact with you directly or anything that you are touching if it will result in moving you. See?
Oh, lame.
The game probably regards that as a kind of cheating. In a way, thieving you of your free will as an adventurer and the need to advance by your own skill and ingenuity. The server player is just a facilitator.
Well, okay. All that scurrying around kinda wore me out. I think I'm gonna rest here for a bit. Rose, can you keep the imps at bay? Like, drop some stuff on them if they sneak too close.
No! You should pick up your hammer and defend yourself.
What? Come on!
I have no idea what the hell Dave is up to, or if he's any closer to recovering the game. There's some stuff I'd like to try in case he doesn't come through.
Oh, alright. I'm just gonna rest my eyes here for a second, though.
Looks like a sort of index documenting all the known results for punch card alchemy combinations. This could be a convenient resource as you start to stumble on more useful card combinations, but ever since John started punching cards, you've been contemplating other ways this item manufacturing system could be put to use. In particular, if you obtain the code for any item at your disposal, you think you could, theoretically, send the code to John, and he could make it himself. That is, if you can think of anything that would be worth sending to him. You eject the disk and capture log the server CD. Ah, God damn it.
Hey!
Whoa, there you are.
How's your adventure going, John?
It's okay. I'm making some progress, and Rose finally connected again, so she's helping me out now.
That's good.
Oh, but, like, I don't think I'm actually saving the world here. I don't know what I'm really accomplishing, but I guess it's not that.
Well, I think whatever it is, it must be pretty important. Don't lose hope, John. I think it'll all turn out for the best if you stay positive. Just keep listening to your grandmother's advice.
Yeah, you're probably right. But, I don't think I mentioned Nana to you, did I?
Oh, I don't know, didn't you?
I don't know, maybe you talked to Rose or Dave about it or something?
Yeah, maybe that was it.
They're really weird when they talk to me about you. Like, they're always trying to convince me that you have some spooky powers, but I'm always like, nah, she seems like a pretty regular girl to me. But when I think back, maybe there are some times when it seems like you know some things. Like maybe you know more about a thing than you are telling me. I don't know.
Oh, well, John, I want to explain a lot of things to you. Some things that I know, I'm just waiting.
Waiting for what?
Oh, John, I forgot I was going to message you about the meteor that fell near my house.
Oh yeah, whatever happened with that?
Oh boy, well, it turns out I was confused about it. Really confused. See, I guess I fell asleep for a while and lost track of time. That happens.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Maybe you should, like, wear an alarm clock or something. So what was the deal with the meteor?
Well, it's hard to explain, but I know what it is now. And now I know everything's gonna be okay.
So what is it? Or is this just another thing that you're waiting to tell me?
Oh, gosh, John, I really want to tell you all this stuff, but I can't yet. I really think you need to wake up first.
Huh?
Well, okay, not literally. Well, okay, maybe kinda literally.
Ah! Stop being so confusing!
Well, anyway, time for you to go, John. I think you have some company.
You stick the pogo hammer back in your STRIFE specibus and get ready to kill some of these pesky little... Huh? What's that?
Rose, Why are you dropping something on that thing? Oh no.
Beat the imp and quickly abscond the fuck out of here! This is what weaker adversaries do whenever things get too hot to handle, which is frequently. You stop being the imp because that was stupid, and scurry over to your magic chest that you suddenly remembered was on the roof. There are some things in here that would be good to stock up on for a major battle, but it looks like someone has plundered your chest! This is so outrageous! You're being ambushed. There isn't much room to maneuver on this sloping roof. Maybe you should consider making your way to higher ground. You go up there. You peek over the edge. It already seems like a long way down to your yard, not even to speak of whatever's below. Hey, weren't your trick handcuffs dangling from the branch earlier? Damn it! Why do imps gotta be making off with all your sweet gear? You are confronted with a pair of enormous foes. This is it. You have no choice but to wage a fierce rooftop battle. This is totally going to happen now, and could in no way conceivably be interrupted by a sudden shift in our attention. It's go time. It's time to do this thing. We're doing it, man. We're making this happen! You stop being the other guy. You're not even sure what that meant anyway.
Wait! Double psych out combo!
You are now the Wayward Vagabond. Got them all ready. What pumpkin? It appears to be a gauge for a large power cell, perhaps fueled by some type of nuclear reaction. If this is the case, it is relatively low on fuel. But who knows how long it has been running here? You do not care about this sort of nonsense, and you will disregard it at once. You are very hungry. Capture log? You have no idea what this means. It is total nonsense, and you do not know what to make of it. You will not give the foolish notion a second thought. You just pick it up. You are now holding the can of gravy. Your teeth are useless for the task. They are blunt like that of livestock, presumably suitable for mashing up plant matter, and not for puncturing metal. Your weak, pathetic digits are not strong enough to penetrate the can. Your fingers are certainly pointy enough, and your black carapace is suitably rigid, but you just don't have enough muscle for the task. Okay, you take that too. The can clearly reads mustard, a fact which you were perfectly well aware. It is sort of cumbersome holding all these cans at once. You doubt you can hold many more than this. Maybe one or two. You'll need to find something to put stuff in if you want to carry a lot of things around. You drop all the cans and take a look at your wrist. It's sort of a specialized barcode pattern. This brings back unpleasant memories, and you would prefer not to dwell on it. What plant? It appears half the pages of this book has been eaten. The daunting volume is considerably lighter than it once was. You are skeptical about the nutritional value contained by these pages. However, of the practical wisdom they contain, there can be little doubt. You have learned so much. You empty the peculiar cabinet and take a quick inventory of your canned goods. You have beans, mustard, gravy, bread, shrimp, asparagus, cheese, rice, corn, peas, flour, chestnuts, mayo, ham, potatoes, and squash. Such a bountiful plenty. And yet, the delights taunt you from within their small metal prisons. You have already looked all over the place for a can opener, even making a few electronic inquiries about one, to no avail. Nothing else inside the purple thing either. You wield your trusty knife. It is actually, you're not quite sure what they're called? It's an old rusted one of those red mailbox arm swing flappy doodads, either for letting you know that there is mail in the box, or maybe for alerting the mailman to outgoing mail to be collected. You don't know, really. You've wrapped a little piece of cloth around it for the grip. It is useless for opening cans. This means nothing to you. You are not an imp. You have no idea what an imp is, and you will not entertain such frivolous and childish ideas ever again. You feel stupid and hate yourself a little for even considering it. As the glorious founder and mayor of Cantown, you erect a dignified, majestic city hall out of cans, fittingly capped off with a tome of good manners for the roof. You have given yourself a very official and important-looking mayoral sash, made out of old cables to complete your look of authority. A number of rather civic-minded citizen cans gather in front of the building to offer adulation to their fair and magnanimous ruler. All is well. You immerse yourself in this beautiful dream as you whittle away the minutes, or perhaps hours. You love the idea of being mayor. You love everything about mayors. The concept of an orderly civic democracy. It all seems so mannerly and reasonable to you. Everyone is friendly and happy, and the city runs like clockwork. The foundation of government is based on mutual respect between the leader and its people. It is also built on having a really great mayor that everyone loves, who is totally amazing and heroic and brave. Mayors are so much better than kings. You hate kings and think kings are really stupid. They are petty, bossy tyrants and are really full of themselves and are basically awful in every way. God, you hate kings. Over here is the other side of the room. There is another one of those purple storage boxes, and some useless objects scattered on the floor. You pick up the nugget of uranium and... Oh, that was so stupid! Why would you do that? It's chalk, numbnuts. Inside the box, there are 12 pieces of chalk in every color of the... 10 pieces of chalk in most colors of the rainbow. You are excited by this. It's locked. There must be some sort of release mechanism for this thing. The container is full of motor oil and does not seem useful to you right now. There is nothing you can do for this new little friend. Attempting to crush the amber encasing the firefly would likely cause it harm. It nevertheless bravely flashes on. You find its light alluring, inspiring. To you, it seems like it could quite easily serve as the light of... democracy. You sketch a handsome network of sprawling thoroughfares for your citizens to traverse. The adoring population applauds its mayor's keen instincts for city planning. You even add some lush vegetation to your city with a piece of blue chalk, because you can't seem to find a more suitable color for some reason. You develop westward, settling those fertile plains and claiming them for your city. You section off a number of residential and commercial zones for civic growth, arranged in the only logical pattern that occurs to you. You color the residential zones with your piece of white chalk, but for some reason, none of the other colors in the box strike you as suitable for the commercial zones. Perhaps there is an alternative. You cannot urinate because you have not had anything to drink in quite some time. You are very thirsty. Also, that is a terrible idea, and you will not consider befouling your wonderful city in such a way, even for a moment. You fill each empty square with a bit of motor oil to complete the zoning. It looks rather striking to you. You can hardly imagine that an up-and-coming young can trying to make it out in the world would not be delighted to live in your fair district. You are very careful to not get any of the unpleasant fluid on your person. It seems you have run out of territory for your westward expansion, but there is still a lot of empty wall space. Perhaps your citizens would be happier with a colorful backdrop that would make them feel more at home. Using most of your imagination and an entire piece of sky blue chalk, you render a bright and cheerful sky full of clouds. You have decided that very closely orbiting your city is a luminous planet, which orbits a single moon. You switch to another shade of blue and continue rendering on the western wall. Orbiting much further from your city are 4 planets. None of these have satellites, you have decided. Yes, that makes sense, you think? And on the southern wall, beyond an impenetrable veil of darkness, occupying the furthest orbit yet, there is an ominous planet. A moon circles this one too. Oh yeah, it's that guy. I've almost forgotten about him and his confusing shenanigans. It seems like he has things well in hand at the moment. He does not appear to need your help, and you have already concluded that he cannot help you, at least for the time being. You have no idea how to turn these on. There is no mouse for this weird quadro-monitored computer. It can only be operated through text commands from its keyboard. Perhaps there is a special key or command which will allow you to switch to another monitor. Free the heavenly brown elixir from the jewels of the pink carapace and imbibe like the wind. It's so sweet and sugary, you wonder how much sugar can fit in one can. Whatever mighty wizard concocted this potion is truly deserving of your fear and respect. The tabs are naturalized as loyal new citizens of Can Town. All cans are welcome and equal in your city, regardless of can content, and whether empty or full. It's not like emptying a can kills it or anything. They are just cans after all. Feeling refreshed and heavily caffeinated, you go back to work on the big computer. You hit escape, which seems to minimize the action window thingy and reveals a history of all the commands you've entered. You use the arrow key to scroll up a bit. You cannot believe how much you've already typed into this stupid contraption. What a waste of time! You scroll all the way up to your first command. It looks like there are more commands above it. Maybe someone was entering commands on this thing before you. There aren't many more. At the top of this list appears to be the very first command. You activate screen 2. The signal is garbled, and you have no idea what you're looking at. Some sort of filthy beggar pleading for help? No one is around, and nothing is happening. You seem to be locked out of any sort of interaction with whatever's happening on this monitor. It's another one of these rapscallions. This monitor is locked too. You can't tell him what to do. Not that you really want to, since it just looks like more confusing nonsense to you. You consider switching to screen 4, but decide against it. You have a feeling that whatever's there would just confuse you even more. And you don't really care all that much anyway. All 4 screens activate. Together they display a countdown, starting at 4 hours and 13 minutes. You can't. Nothing is working anymore. The timer seems to have disabled the keyboard. Enough of this nonsense! You are an important mayor, and this absurd contraption has wasted enough of your time. You've got a city to govern, with a carapace fist! Which is to say firm, yet polished and supple when the situation demands. Anyway, this will help you kill some time as you wait for that clock to count down. You temporarily dismantle City Hall to free up all the can power available to create a vigilant town militia. You divide them into 2 groups, marking them with distinct teams and ranks using pieces of white chalk and motor oil. You then organize them into a phalanx across the countryside, preparing for a stiff training regimen. When you are through with them, your forces will be a well-oiled machine. Chalk another one up to bold leadership. You waste more than 4 hours on this tomfoolery. Your caffeinated jittering must have agitated all the little bottles curiously hidden in the liquid, creating too much pressure in the can. You speculate this is why it exploded, as you nervously eye the timer. You're starting to wonder what will happen when it reaches 0. Maybe it would be best not to be near it when this happens. You say a bittersweet goodbye to your beloved city. It is time to move on to greener pastures, by which of course you mean an arid, sandy wasteland upon which nothing green has grown in years. The door shuts behind you. A panel on the door becomes illuminated. As you ponder over the marks on the panel, you hear another mechanical sound overhead. The LCD panel appears to have a touchscreen interface. It appears the funny-looking spirograph room is locked. The floor rotates a full 360 degrees beneath you, while the surrounding wall seems to stay put. The triangle-y fractal room does not appear to be locked. The floor turns 120 degrees, and the door opens. You go through the door to find another room. It is the same size as that other one you just wasted all that time in while the clock was ticking down to something which may or may not be your doom. Maybe there is something in here that will help you escape. Against the wall, there is another perplexing contraption. Against the opposite wall is some sort of control panel, which catches your eye. It has 2 large screens, but only one appears to be active. There are fields for numbers, which appear to be modifiable with the dials to the right. Some numbers are already supplied by default, perhaps entered by the previous user. There are a few buttons below, the largest one bearing a symbol marking this room. Also, it looks like there is a meter stick propped up there for some reason. You immediately craft a measuring spear through possibly the most advanced form of alchemy employed thus far. This is obviously the most important thing to do first. Obviously. Or it would obviously be the most important thing to do if you had remembered to bring your trusty knife. You feel so insecure without your trusty knife, it makes you want to slit your wrists, or at the very least flog your carapace or some sort of measuring apparatus. You examine the perplexing contraption across the room. You, of course, have no idea what it could possibly do. You adopt the only obvious course of action, which is to poke and prod at it with your handy ruler. You are quite sure this is what science is all about. You go back to the control panel, which obviously controls that gizmo, and you push the big blue button, which is probably the most obvious thing to push. You will purify a pumpkin. It seems this mysterious gourd was purified from a specific time and location, somewhere on this planet you are on. You wonder if the machine, a purifier, will take any object that exists at whatever time and location you supply. There is a symbol carved on the pumpkin. You don't know what it means, and you doubt it will ever prove to be relevant in any way. You consider dining on the ripe flesh of the plumbed vegetable, but your curiosity about the purifier gets the better of you. You try to sneak a nibble from the pumpkin nonetheless. You first examine the attractive green buttons. The icon for the one on the left is that house shape you've seen plenty of times before. The right one, on closer inspection, appears to be a map for this underground facility with an X marking its center. You push the button. All the numbers change. Perhaps these are the coordinates for the location of the center of this facility, along with the local date and time? If this is the case, it would make for a useful reference point for your current bearings. One way to find out would be to attempt to purify something from this facility. It should be easy to zero in on a location relative to the center, because you have an uncanny knack for tracking precise distances you have already traversed, in whatever units you choose. Your handy ruler gives you a good clue as to the basic unit of human measurement. You will go with that. You nudge the coordinates very slightly and bump the elevation by 0.5 human measurement units. You make sure to keep the time approximately what it was to begin with. You will purify your trusty knife. You nudge the numbers a bit more and purify a bunch of cans. This is so much more efficient than walking back to the other room to get them. You want to believe that time is at a premium, after all.
Does this machine look like a de-appearifier to you? Honestly, the idea that an appearifier could both appearify and de-appearify things is so laughably ridiculous. You wish someone would de-appearify your brain and reappearify it with a brain that is smart and less dumb! What the hell are you talking about? That idea makes no sense at all, and is basically meaningless. Try using that mushy stuff in your gourd next time. Instead, you just carve off the top, exposing a decadent cachet of gorgeous, seed-laden ambrosia. Needless to say, you consume it all rather quickly, but it turns out to be too gross for us to watch. You cannot move it. It has a spirograph-shaped indentation, and will possibly require a special kind of key to turn it. You release your blinky new friend. You will give her a name when something suitably whimsical occurs to you. You and Serenity consider new ways to waste more time with the Appearifier. You are assuming she is a girl firefly, even though you are not sure that fireflies can be girls. You target the extremely tasty rotten pumpkin that was sitting in the other room hours ago. It seems the Appearifier cannot appearify something if it will create a time paradox. A gelatinous ghost pumpkin appearifies and quickly dissolves into a pile of unappetizing sludge. Serenity blinks a message of urgency. You nearly forgot that while trapped in amber, she was witness to all of your tomfoolery and dilly-dallying in the other room, and knows the timer is about to expire. It is time to get this show on the road and escape. You reset the coordinates with the right green button again, and this time only adjust the elevation by approximately 10 human measurement units. You attempt the rare and highly dangerous 5 times cliffhanger combo, and fail. We're doing it, man. We're making this happen.
Dear John. You are no doubt reading this as a handsome and strapping young man. Why, the man grit needed to lift the book is itself a sign of your maturity, not even to speak of the wisdom needed to grasp the nuance of Saska's time-tested mischief. I am so proud of you, grandson. How I wish I could have delivered this heirloom to you in the flesh, but I'm afraid that wasn't in the cards. For you see, John, like you, this book must yet take a journey. Its journey will end on the final day of my life, and even then will continue some. Though I suppose that will be up to your father. Perhaps he will discuss it with you one day, when he and you are ready. But it is your journey I'm writing about, to wish you luck. There will come a day when you will be thrust into another world, and once you arrive, that will only be the beginning. You will soon delve even deeper into a realm of warring royalty in a timeless expanse. A realm of agents and exiles and consorts and colonel sprites, of toiling underlings and slumbering denizens. A realm where four will gather, the heir of breath and the seer of light, the knight of time and the witch of space. And together, they will ascend. John, if you only knew how important you were. I regret my passing came so early in your life, and yet, I feel in my heart we have already met. But what I know for sure is that we will meet again. Until then, John, I do hope your father keeps you well fed. With love, Nana. P.S.
I can hear the